People
guys
don't collect them if they're not able to fire, even though they have
Why
no
would
intention
you
to
own a
fire
really
them.
cool
Shorty,
gun
let
that
me
you
know if
can't
I'm
shoot?
live.
That would suck.
You're live.
I mean,
but yeah, I
kinda
agree with
miserable.
you about
People
like
collect them, but they don't
Alright,
intend to
Real
fire
quick,
them.
guys. What's going
Yeah.
on, guys? It's the Dragoncraft Gaming. I'm Dragoncraft, and we're here to play D&D. Not D&D Dragon Age style like we do on Tuesdays. This is normal D&D.
Just regular D&D.
Yeah, this is just regular D&D. So we are going to go ahead and jump into the introductions really quick. So that way we could just jump in. Naz, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Well, I am Naz, or Nazareth, and I play Laurent. He is the kobold bard.
Alright. Sir Druce, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
I'm Drews. I play the human swashbuckler Nelson.
Alright, and Stitches doesn't have a character yet, but he is listening in. And
Tape on it.
hopefully he'll have himself a character here pretty soon. Shorty, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character?
I play Sylvie / Farkree, the blood hunter, the half-elf blood hunter.
Alright. Will, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character?
Yeah, my name is Will, and I'm playing...
Hey, yeah, I just noticed that we were missing Red.
Oh, Red said that he was not going to be able to play today. Which is,
did he?
Yeah, that's what he
Wait.
said. Unless he's joining.
He's here!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like right as you said that he joined.
Did you get my text?
No, yeah, you said that you weren't going to be able to play.
No, yeah, I was double checking that because since I was getting pinged, I was wondering if you had said anything or not.
No, I was going to get to that. I was going to introduce everybody, and then I was going to say that Red was going to be joining us, but he cannot today, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Today's not one of my mental days. If anything, I'm just gonna take it to chill out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
That's all good.
it should be fine.
Yeah,
This
I
is...
do hope you guys do the session though. I would love for you guys to just progress it. I don't want you guys to have to wait another week.
I mean, if you want to, you can like follow along with the stream if you want, so that way you can see what's going on and not miss anything. So that way you're ready for next session. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I can take cliff notes or whatever because I feel like I could piece together pretty quickly what happens. In all fairness, our party gets distracted very easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What party
kinda.
doesn't?
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm gonna
Um,
continue on with the stream. So Red, I will see you later.
Experience.
We will go ahead and finish that up.
Yeah. Enjoy the session, guys. I'm gonna hop back off. I might hop in the stream later to listen in.
Alright.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
See ya. All right. Will, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
So-
Finishing up.
Yeah, I am playing Rio, the Kitsune Oath of the Harvest Paladin.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, who wants to do the recap? Normally Red does it, but Red's not here today, so.
Huh. I might do it because I'm the one that actually took notes about it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So we arrived at the city.
Mhm.
We went through a few shenanigans on the way there, but they're not really important to the wider plot.
Oh,
What did we lose?
And
Stitches.
once we got there, we managed to successfully sneak in. All of us. The main group went in normally, and Nelson snuck around in ahead of us to scout ahead. And he did scout ahead, and he found absolutely nothing. But we got in.
Hey, that's a lie. I found plenty.
Nothing helpful. By the time that you found something good, we were already in. But we set up because we're pretending to be a circus, and Laurent went off and did some scouting, and it seems that there are 3 places of education where a lot of wizards congregate. And whatever's going on here probably has something to do with one of them. So that's probably where we're going to start our investigation whenever we actually get to it.
Mhm.
Who knows if we will just
to
yet.
ask a question of Laurent, does Laurent have any theories as to what might be going on yet, or is he just kind of playing it cool and just kind of investigating first before drawing
Well,
any theories yet?
I wouldn't say that, both he and I wouldn't say that there isn't enough information just yet to jump to any conclusions, but it seems that we're dealing with a strict hierarchy of mages in this city, and it's very likely that whatever we're here to investigate has something to do with one of the two higher up ones, especially because there was a big boom coming from one of the mage towers that these mages are congregating at, and in all likelihood that mage tower is probably belonging to a singular mage who is like renting it out or giving lessons there. And whatever weirdness we're here to investigate is probably at one of the two greater institutions, if you will.
Mhm.
But so far we don't really know enough to have any conclusions. We just have theories and paths to follow.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Shorty,
Oh, yeah?
music, please.
oh yes. Music
Ooh.
bot commands.
Let's take that
Sesh play.
inspiration.
Zergultia.
I'm still trying to open this dice package. It's got tape on it, so I got my giant evil ritual dagger to cut it open, except it's not sharp, so it isn't working. I'm just kind of sticking it in there over and over again, hoping that it'll cut the tape eventually.
I
think
was
City
about to make a
works.
joke, but we're streaming. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, I already did it in my wording.
Naz is making jokes on the subtle side. All right, okay. All right, here we go.
You'll
Sneaky.
never catch them all.
So, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off, with you guys had congregated, and if I remember correctly, you guys were congregating, and you were going to share your findings with the group, if I'm not mistaken. Naz. With
Yes,
Laurent.
I do believe that was just where we left off.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna pull up my notes because I need those. Where is this? There it is.
All right, you guys have congregated here in this center area.
Yes, we are at our little circus, our little fake circus.
Yeah. I will let you go ahead and commence the sharing with your teammates, and your teammates will be able to, of course, ask any questions that they think that their characters might have.
Yep. Yeah, so I think Laurent is going to start off. I like to imagine he's standing on like a chair or a table because he's really short, and he like needs to do that to like get everyone to see him. So he's doing that, and he just looks to everybody and he says, "I assume you all heard that very large boom earlier."
Actually, it
Yeah.
knocked Sylvie to the ground, to be honest. Not
Yes,
Sylvie.
yeah, kinda
Not Sylvie.
And yeah,
Yeah.
he says, and felt
Barkley.
it too, I
Yeah.
presume.
Yeah.
And after everyone's response, he gestures to that tower off in the distance, and he says, "Well, I figured out where it came from, at least, and it seems to be a regular occurrence around here, but still a recent one. And on top of that, that tower over yonder seems to be an institution, a place of education. I have spotted a fair number of what seem to be apprentice mages making their ways in and out. And along with that, not too far away from it, there is what appears to be a college, and he kind of points down the road that would lead to it.
If I'm not
And then
mistaken, it's
he-
this building over here.
Yeah, but I believe it's somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
He gestures to that, and then he points to across the lake in the general direction of that other area he saw, and he
Yep,
says,
that one right there.
and there seems to be one more place where mages congregate in this city, and they all wear different robes. They seem to be part of different distinct groups. They all wear the same outfit, but in different patterns and colors. So they're probably parts of a hierarchy. And if I would guess, the place across the lake is the highest, the tower is in the middle, and the place down the road is at the bottom. That isn't to say that it's low. It is. They all seem to be very high class relative to the average person.
Roll me an insight check real quick. From these observations that you made, there is one more small detail that
Okay.
you could possibly
I will-
glean from this.
I will do that.
Yeah, it's like you're basically using power of hindsight.
Yeah, now that he's like saying it out loud to a bunch of people, I will do that. Oh, that's a 5. I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
Go
This
for
is
it.
not very effective.
It's a D4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently? Okay, let me roll that.
Bardic inspiration, yeah.
Hey, or no, like the inspiration I got from the thing. I got the highest I possibly could. Does an 8 fare me any better? Or not an 8, a 9. Because I got a 5.
I will
not a 4.
say if the DC was 10, you're close enough. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
a little bit of it at least.
One other piece of information that you can glean from this is that each of these schools, judging by the robes and the magic that is being practiced that you managed to observe, it's not just a hierarchy. It's also schools of magic
Yes.
that they are practicing. That there seems to be a hierarchy that has to do with schools of magic. Certain schools of magic seem to be considered higher class or better than other schools of magic.
Yeah, and I think he's, with that sort of idea in his head, he's going to continue and say, the group across the lake seems to very heavily favor nature magic, and I would hazard a guess that the ones in the tower probably like evocation.
Actually, what's really funny is you're correct on that.
Yes, that's what I was like. Well, if there's a big boom, it's got to be evocation.
Yeah.
And
Did
he's
somebody
like, "But I
say
have-"
boom?
And then he's like, I have no idea what the place down the road does. I would assume they're a bit
Yeah,
more
you didn't get a
general with
chance to
their
observe any magic. from
specification.
that.
Yeah, they seem the most normal out of the 3. So they're probably just everything, if I had to guess. Or if they do specialize in something, it's not one of the more important ones. And I think he finishes off with saying, there could be more, but those are the only 3 that I've seen. And considering the size of this place, they're probably the only ones. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's another.
Yeah, there's a few in the city. I'll at least say that much.
Yep. But that's all of his findings, I believe.
Questions, comments, concerns from the group?
Yeah. Does any of the party members have anything to add or say?
Sounds lame and not profitable, but yeah.
So, which one do you think we should investigate first?
I think Laurent says, I think the tower is a good place to begin. It was the one I managed to get closest to. So at the very least, security is a little lax. But also they seem to be the most pressingly important at the time, considering that very large boom we heard earlier. So if we have anywhere to start, it would probably be there. And then but he does continue and says, but the place down the road is the one I have the least information about, so that could also be a good place to look.
Another question is, how are we going to do this circus stuff? Because if we don't do anything, they'll probably... No, I don't know.
And he says, yeah, that is a good point. Well, I feel like the best I could say is that whenever we're here, and anyone looks for too long, we should put on a show. Do what we can to be entertaining. And who knows, maybe we'll make a little bit of extra spending money in the meantime.
Yeah.
All right.
Lord, was it you or Nelson that brought back the rat meat on a stick?
Nelson.
That was me.
Yeah, that was Nelson.
Real
Okay.
delicacy.
Oh yeah, I think you even said something about like allowing me to go to wolfy form so Valkyrie can even eat the meat. So Valkyrie's like, it probably tastes better on my tongue. I'm like, shut up, weird person in my head. It's like, nah.
Yeah, Rio's going to take a stick and find a place where you can sit, where you can put it down without anything getting messy. Pull out his cook's utensils, and he's going to try and make this at minimum passable. At best, actually edible.
Okay.
Hey, it was edible before.
Yeah. It was edible before, it just was bad.
Hey, that's my type of food, bro. That shit was good. What you talking about?
So, cook's utensil roll drag.
Oh, Shorty, can you do me a favor? Can you post to Stitches link to the stream, so that way he can follow along.
Okay.
All right. So
Didn't I find a warehouse last time? Last
yeah,
session?
you guys are literally right next to it. This is the
Mhm.
big warehouse.
Yeah, it's supposedly unguarded.
Yeah.
I would like to try and sneak in through the back door.
Well, it is broad daylight right now. Are you sure you want to do it now?
Maybe you want to wait?
That's a good
Right.
point.
Yeah.
But
But
also, that could be what they want you to think, and it's more
Exactly,
guarded at night than it
exactly.
is at day.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
No, no.
thinking.
Yeah, I think maybe just like, do you like to prefer be able to just poke your toe in it and see how it is, and if it doesn't work well, then like just scamper out of there.
You know what?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Well, yeah, whatever you want to do.
You know, is there like I got this ring of fucking polymorph. Is there like a tiny hole or something in the building?
Roll me an investigation check.
I'm looking for like a mouse hole or something.
Please do not turn one of us into another goldfish.
No, it would be from. I'm gonna be using it on myself. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be for good this time.
That way, I don't have to risk exposing myself by trying to sneak in.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
I do feel a little paranoid though. It's like, this is a mage city. They might have accounted for that. That somebody might polymorph to try to get in.
Or maybe they're so used to people maybe like
Well,
people
it's a
not really
mage city.
having
They could have
initiative.
potentially planned for every conceivable possibility.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe like the
that's
Ark of the Covenant is
unfortunate.
in here or something.
What'd you roll?
3.
Yeah, you don't see any kind of mouse hole or anything like that to be able to, you know.
Well, I
get
gotta
into.
break in the old-fashioned way then. I'm gonna look around. Does anybody nearby the back door?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, a 12 to try and make this rat meat actually good.
18.
It is edible. It doesn't taste amazing. It doesn't taste great, but it also doesn't taste entirely horrible either.
It's just like jerky now. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
So what did you
no-
roll for your perception check?
I got 18.
18 for your perception check? Okay.
Mhm.
You do see that there is nobody really currently observing you.
Perfect. I'd like to first try to see if somebody left the back door open, and if not, I'd like to lockpick the door.
Alright. It is, you check to see if the door is unlocked, and it is indeed unlocked.
Oh,
Ooh. That's suspicious.
that it is.
Like they
Is there
want to
is
go
there is there like a keyhole or something I could peek through?
in.
There is actually not a lock on this door.
Are they that trusting?
That is very suspicious. It means
Yeah.
they never intend to lock this place ever.
I don't like
Unless
that
they
at
do that
all.
through magic.
Oh, I guess
You
it's
gotta,
like
you gotta like go like peek under the door.
because it just feels wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too inviting.
Yeah.
I want to like fling open the door, but like also like move out of the doorway at the same time, just to see if I like hear a reaction from
Just
maybe
like a
someone
giant, like,
inside.
fire laser
You just
comes
open
out of
up
the
the-
door.
You open up and go, boom, baby.
Just death
No,
beam,
no, no.
disintegration.
I'm just,
Alright, what are you gonna
I'm
do?
just, I want to like fling the door open, but also like move out of like the doorway. So like just in case there's somebody in there, they won't see me, but I could like hear a reaction, like, "Huh? What was that?"
Well,
Maybe so you could try, like,
what I
You
the
could try.
thing is,
You could
though,
try play it
is,
off as if like it's like the
Sir
wind.
Druce,
The wind open it or something.
Mr. Druce. The moment you fling open the door, I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
I knew it. Disintegration
Yeah,
ray.
that's fair. Disintegration ray is crazy.
Yep. Right out the door.
No, actually, Naz,
God
your-
damn it.
Loren
Love it.
actually observes, because you're up on this hill, right? You
Yeah, and
can-
he's probably watching
Yeah,
this happen to
you-
make sure like nothing bad goes on.
You would notice this even if you weren't not watching. There is a bright flash in your peripheral.
Oh.
And
The
you
disintegration
see-
ray.
When you turn and look, you see a fireball.
Oh, the classic.
And
Oh,
the
God.
dexterity saving throw is for a fireball.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm gonna see if he can help.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Somehow.
I don't think there's any way I can help because I'm not magic related or
So-
anything.
I have to remember.
You
What?
could do bardic inspiration, maybe. I don't know if
Oh,
that
okay,
would be
yeah.
very useful.
I have the DC right here for this particular fireball. Okay,
Because fireballs are mean, especially low level. So
I think it's what 4d10.
that's
am I
yeah.
wrong?
If that's a high roll, that's just death. That could be instant death for a low level character.
Yeah, because it's the lowest level fireball. So, which is
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah, he's gonna use bardic inspiration on Nelson. Like as soon as he like notices that there's a fireball, he's like. Choo! He doesn't even use an instrument. He whistles. He uses his like fingers to whistle to do it because it's he needs to be quick about this.
all right. So what did
So
you get for that?
fireball is 8d6. What did I get? I got an 11.
Oh, so it's 8d6
you-
for the basic fireball.
You have
Yes.
you do have bardic inspiration, so you might want
All right,
to.
then
What's
you got
the
a
bardic
what?
inspiration die?
You got a what
It
on your
is-
roll?
It was an 11, but I
Yeah.
didn't know about the bardic
You get a
inspiration.
d6.
Yeah,
get
roll
a
that
D6.
Roll that d6.
I almost fucked up that command. 3, so 14.
Eh.
Uh oh.
Yeah, the DC was 15.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew.
Come on.
I figured.
Well, that's a waste of a bardic inspiration.
Consequences
That is
for my actions coming right now.
29. That is 29 damage.
Ah!
29, so I go unconscious.
Well, I think Laurent is going to run over and drag his unconscious body over to the rest as fast as he can before anybody comes to investigate.
Do you shut the door?
Nope, he's not going near that.
Oh, okay.
He is not going to.
What's
even-
all my heart? Oh, you're letting it go to waste.
No, if he shuts the door, then that's gonna like reverse your progress. Maybe the next time, maybe every time you open the door, it shoots a fireball.
No, I'm saying you didn't look inside. You gotta look inside. I must know.
Well, I mean,
Well, he's
just from a quick glance,
do
if
that.
you look, you do see that there are a shit ton of boxes on the inside of this. Where?
Well, I can't see.
No, I'm talking
I guess
Loren
he-
when he comes to get you.
Yeah, he probably gets a glimpse.
Yeah,
but
he
he's not
gets a
going
glimpse
to
that there
investigate
are
any further.
boxes, all kinds of boxes on the inside.
Yeah, he's just dragging Nelson towards the group now. Like he's
All
dragging
right,
him
just
to
for
the
fun, because I want to see how fast
circus.
you drag him back, because you are small.
Yeah, he is very small.
Roll me a strength check.
Okay.
Well, we'll say athletics. We'll say athletics.
Okay. Nice. Oh, that's not good. That's a 5. Why am I getting awful rolls constantly all the time?
You're telling
You can
me.
also call for help to help you move him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to yell for help. That's going to draw more attention, but he's going to look to the group kind of like, hey, come on. Like he's kind of giving them that kind of glance, like somebody help him with this. He's pretty strong for his size, but he's still not like
Yeah, I'll-
Barkley,
great.
or
Like
anybody else?
he has like a
Yeah,
He has, like, a
I'll like run
plus
over and
strength.
I don't really have a lot of strength, but I'll come over and maybe at least help.
Yeah,
I mean, having two
roll,
people will make it
what we can do
way
is
easier.
I will, since you're helping, I will let Laura roll this with advantage.
okay. So I'll just. Wow, that's a nat 1. That's awesome.
Well, shit.
The
Um,
D20 is an accurate representation of your character's abilities.
Barkley, I will let
Yeah?
you roll an athletics to help, and we'll take
Okay.
your athletics and combine it with his athletics to be able to do this.
4.
Son of
Oh
a
my
bitch!
God.
Rio
Like,
will.
this is like the easiest thing ever. It's just dragging an unconscious dude, and it's like, no, the universe decrees that we will fail.
like this guy has so much stuff on it.
Oh, did I hear a 16? That's what Barkley got? Yeah, I think that's what I
Wow.
heard. Yeah, so you guys managed to drag him away because I don't want to fucking Team PK this early. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and say,
Yeah.
Barkley got a 16. That's what you got. Yeah.
I mean, Sylvie. Barkree is
Also-
not in control right now.
Oh, Sylvie.
Yeah, Barkree's the
We did it,
wolfie.
Joe.
Yeah, that's right. Sylvie.
Yeah.
God, having like a werewolf in town would probably be drawing way too much attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, my goodness, Barkree's
Bro,
walking
Sylvie,
You
around.
just
Yeah,
set
Sylvie
off
got
a
a
fireball in the town, bro. I think a
There's a
werewolf would
werewolf
be the
running
least of our
around.
problems.
Yeah, but it's like it's more attention. We don't need more after what just
All right.
happened.
So where do you put Nelson when you get him dragged back?
Out
Put
of
him
the
on
way.
table. Put him on the
Mm.
table.
I would say that is the last place we want to put him because that's
We
going
want
to be
him,
the
like-
easiest place to see him.
Yeah, like
So
out
we're
of
gonna
sight.
put
Maybe
him
put him like
out
a.
of view. Unless you walk right up to the cart, you should not be able to see him wherever we put him. Maybe in the cart.
I mean, I do have lay on hands, so I can heal him.
Yeah, but we don't want him like straight out in the open while you're doing that. So, just gonna put him like behind
In the cart or behind the cart?
something. Not behind the cart. Like under the tarp that's set out, and like behind something that's under that, so that if you're walking by, you wouldn't see him.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll say that that is exactly what you do, and you do see some guards dressed in armor that run up and are looking at the open door, and they you see one of the guards do a quick hand motion, and it casts a spell, and then walk in.
Oh, he's dispelling it. I see.
Mmm.
Yeah.
And now they're almost certainly checking to see if anything was taken.
Yeah, they're. It seems that they are investigating the warehouse for the moment. All right. What do you guys want to do while you have a chance while they are investigating the explosion?
Ryu is going to place a hand on Nelson's chest and give him 15 hit points, thanks to Lay on Hands.
All right. So Nelson, you are now awake and alert again. But also with a bit of pain and some burns, but you're
just got
alive.
blown up.
You're alive.
I am in fact alive.
Man, I thought you had that though too. I thought you had that with the bardic inspiration, and I was like, oh, I think he passed. And then you did the
Man,
math,
at
and I was
what
like,
point
oh.
in this campaign so far have I actually rolled well, aside from stealing those rings?
Yeah. I mean,
I have not rolled well at all.
you had like a good roll to like sneak past the guards. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
That too, but otherwise it's been pretty bad.
But all right. So Nelson, now
Were
that
any of
you
you
are
able to see what
alive,
was inside? What was inside? What was inside?
do you ask Laurent because you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he says, he's kind of looking at him a little sternly, like, you know, and he says, well, I was too busy trying to save you, but all I saw was a lot of boxes. So, if you did get in there, you would have to spend all the time opening them, and the guards probably would have found you anyway.
No, see, you're not a master thief like me.
And I think he just says, don't assume who I am and who I'm not until you get to know me.
I don't swing that way, I'm sorry.
Ah!
Yeah, he doesn't respond.
I'm just like my character's like laughing, like 'cause my character's like just like laughing.
Yeah, he does that thing where like you kind of like that little shrug, like, okay. That's basically his response.
Laurent, because I'm pretty sure I think you and Sylvie have the higher perceptions within the group.
I can check what his is. I know it's decent.
Yeah, what's your passive perception?
Lauren's perception is just a +1. But
No, your passive
that's
perception.
better than
Passive.
11. Doesn't make much of a
14.
difference.
Okay, so yeah,
14.
Sylvie, then you would probably notice this first. You hear footsteps approaching.
I'll maybe instinctually kind of like the weird like wolf growl noise.
So you do hear this growl come from Sylvie, and you also hear the footsteps approaching.
Oh, who is it?
It's one of the guards. They are approaching to presumably probably ask you questions.
Yes.
I'll kind of like
While that
I'll kind of like walk
happens,
back, like let the person that's like the one with the most charisma talk. I'm like, well, I'm walking back.
As soon as Laurent sees the guard, he jumps up onto the table to be like at eye level with this guard. You know, because like, oh, somebody, like he's doing it in such a way where it's like, you know, oh, somebody's coming to see the circus. You know, we gotta get ready. He gets up on the table and he does like a little bit of sleight of hand to retrieve a tiny little flute from his sleeve. And he does like a little, he plays a little tune on it,
Mhm.
and with that tune, he casts Minor Illusion to make it look like Nelson is completely unharmed
Okay.
for this guard's perspective. Because he probably would have otherwise looked visibly like burnt and injured.
Yeah.
So he's using Minor Illusion to make him look not burnt and injured.
Okay. All right. So the guard approaches and he says, I would just like to ask you, Carnival people, as you are close to the warehouse, you wouldn't happen to have seen anybody tampering with that door. We've had some street vermin trying to enter our warehouse and steal our goods for quite some time now, so we added some security measures. Did you happen
Yeah,
to
I
see
think,
anything from your hilltop here?
Laurent, he says, well, I caught the explosion out the corner of my eye, but whoever it was must have ran away through the smoke because I didn't see them.
I didn't either.
Me either.
Well, if you would be so kind to us, if you do happen to see anybody tampering with that door, would you mind letting us know, please?
He just says, oh yes, of course.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, we'll just nod.
Well, since I'm here, would you mind showing me a few tricks just to lighten the mood? The day has been long enough.
And immediately, Minor Illusion only lasts 1 minute, so they're kind of working under a clock to. He's gonna be like, oh yes, of course, and he's going to step off the table, tumble forward as if he's falling, and then use that tumble to land back onto his feet and do like a cartwheel away from the cart to get the guard looking away from the rest of from Nelson specifically, because Minor Illusion is going to dispel any minute now, or any second now.
Yeah, I'd also like
and-
to make my way out of sight.
Yeah, get like inside the cart or something.
All right.
So he does
roll
that.
me a stealth check then, please, Nelson. And while you are
Can
while he's
he-
rolling that, roll me a performance.
Yeah. Can I do the performance first, and then if I do good on that, can it help his stealth?
Yeah, I'll allow him to have
I
advantage for that.
I already get advantage.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's my
Oh, yeah, well.
cloak.
Whatever. Good thing my performance is really good. Oh, that is a 26.
Mm-hmm.
A 19 plus 7.
That will definitely be plenty enough. Yeah, he is paying complete and total attention to you to see.
I got a 23 for my stealth.
Oh yeah, you managed to sneak away.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is paying 100% total attention to you and is impressed by your answers.
Yeah, he's
Also,
gonna
maybe-
generally just keep it going from
And
there. He's,
maybe I would like to try at least to part of the thing to be kind of like just toss a dagger at you, so you can do like the catch
Oh,
it.
like yeah, juggling, and then just like
Yeah,
as she tosses the a dagger to you, you
Yeah.
incorporate it into your juggling.
Yeah.
he's gonna do. He's starting to do juggling, and he's like, Lord's main act is that he does kind of. He's slapstick, so a lot of his performance involves failing on purpose. But when the dagger comes his way, he's going to make it so that one of the things that he's juggling is hit by the dagger, and that catches it. And then
And I like
as-
to have it where once
as
like
it-
does that cool thing. Once you're done with whatever, okay, once it hits a thing, after a little bit, I would like it to, because I'm throwing one of my daggers from my magic thingy on my arm, so it'll just like, it'll kind of just like vanish and go back to me.
Okay.
Even-
I would like to think
even
that
more-
he incorporates it into the juggling for a little bit, and then he tosses it up into the air, and it disappears like while it's out of sight. and it just doesn't come
Yes.
back down. So that's
Yes.
even more distracting.
So yeah, the guard's like literally looking to try and see where the dagger went.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And let's see. Oh yeah. And then once the guard's attention is returned to him, he's going to, while he's juggling, he's going to take one of his 1,000 ball bearings and just subtly drop that onto the floor. And then during his juggling routine, he's going to, on purpose, slip on that ball bearing. And, like, he's going to do, like, a flip, land in a sitting position, and then the things that he's juggling, like, ding, 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 like, land on his head in sequential order like a cartoon.
Yeah,
and he,
the guard
like,
just immediately
gathers
starts
it all
laughing.
up and then gives a little bow.
Yeah, the guard is immediately laughing, giving you a small round of applause. And he says, "Ah, yes, I like your show. I will make sure that my friends know of your show, and we will attend tonight."
And then Lawrence just, like, he gives him, like, a big grin, like, great, awesome, that's really nice. Thanks for that.
Okay, so
And
far I'm seeing like these.
Make sure you bring a lot of money.
He leaves and he takes off. And you successfully diverted the guard.
Hey.
They all kind of like look at you like that was cool. That was cool what you do with the dagger.
Yeah, and he's like, he's looking around on the floor to get his ball bearing back. He doesn't want to lose that. So while he's looking around for that on the ground, he's like, like, yeah, it was good on-the-spot coordination. Now we just need to get ready for this impromptu show we have tonight.
Yeah.
And he
I mean, I am.
gathers up all the random junk that he was using for the performance and
Yes.
stores it all away.
Well, I am going to go see if I can purchase at least some meat that we can use for not only food but also for treats during such performances.
Yeah. She's like, and then she'll be like, if we're doing performances and stuff, like, what should I be doing? I know I'm dagger and stuff, but
I think Laura just says, well, what you were doing just now seems good enough. Especially if we work together.
yeah, and I'm pretty good at catching things.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, kind of like more calm after you said that.
And then I think Laurent kind of addresses everybody and says, during the show, if anybody messes up, I can cover for you for a little bit. Just get my attention, you know, because he can do minor illusion, and he can also distract people if anybody messes up, because these guys are not used to doing circus stuff. He is, you know, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he's getting it across.
You're master of ceremonies as well as like one of the main acts. So
Yes, he's like the ringmaster, and he's also like the clown,
Yeah.
essentially.
So, real quick, Will, I am going to make a request real quick because I completely forgot this.
Yes.
Like, I know you put the disclaimer in the chat, but for the benefit of this going up on YouTube later, go ahead and make the disclaimer for about Loot Tavern real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
We are not associated with either Loot Tavern or D&D Shorts. We are supporting them through the purchase of their products. You can find Ryoko's Guide to Yokai Realms on Kickstarter, and then both Larsen's and Liliana's Guide to Monster Hunting on Loot Tavern's website.
Yeah, we are just using the material. Will's playing a kitsune, which is from Ryoko's guide, and we also might be using Helianas for like possible harvesting to be able to like make armor and weapons and stuff like that as well later on. But we are not sponsored, hashtag not spawn, or any way affiliated with Blue Tavern. So yeah, just to make that disclaimer, just as Will said. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I did that now because I completely forgot to do that in the beginning. And if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, continuing on.
So yeah, Rio's going to head off in the rough direction of sort of the marketplace or the city to just try and gather some more food.
All right. Yeah, because you guys did probably use a good amount of the food that you had stored in the cart on your trip here.
Yeah.
So you guys would probably have to restock your food supplies, or else eat the rats that Sir Nelson brought.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of like a cool axe I can do. I'm over like, I have fancy spearing daggers. I can just take that into full account in my stuff.
Yeah.
God.
Loren is going to firstly, like, he's just gonna like sort of sort through just all of our random junk that we have in the cart to sort out what's going to be useful for tonight and what will not be.
Oh shit!
And
Did I
then-
give you guys money from the group that sent you guys? The group of rulers that sent you? They sent you with some funds. Did I not tell you about that or not?
Yeah.
I don't remember. if you
Did the blood hunters give me any like funds too, or is that just I forgot?
Yeah, no. The
I don't
blood
remember.
hunters also gave you money, like as like because this is going to be a long mission. You would
Yeah.
need funds to be able to like buy food,
I-
lodging, and stuff like
It's like,
that.
is there
I
like
know,
an
I know they
estimate?
gave us this in the
It's like,
wagon.
so is there any
Yeah,
idea?
I don't think you
basic-
specified
basic
the money
ad-
that we got.
It's like basic idea.
Because they would have gave you. I believe they would have given you as a whole group like 1,000 gold. I think is what I have in my notes.
Oh.
Except for Sylvie, because Sylvie was sent by the blood hunters themselves. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they would have gave
Definitely.
you. I think they would have gave you like a couple hundred gold.
So
Um,
that's like maybe like 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm trying to like have like a round number. Where it makes sense.
Yeah, like I think it was.
Just-
It'd be like 200 gold. I think.
Okay. That's
For-
200. That sounds good. I'll add it to my money thing. There you go.
Yeah. So for the whole group,
'Cause,
I
like-
think for the whole
Yeah.
group of everybody else, though, I think it was like yeah, right here in the notes. 1,000 gold. Yeah, for the whole group.
But,
Yeah, this makes sense. They would give you enough money because it's like, hey, magic place. You
Yeah,
might
for
need
like
some money to
food,
throw around.
lodging, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that way you can actually
ourselves.
function within the city. Yeah.
yeah. While Laura is sort of just sorting our random junk for what's good for the act and what isn't, he's going to talk to Nelson, and he's going to say to him, since you aren't officially part of our circus act, I think that the show tonight would be a really good time for you to go investigate while the guards are distracted, because quite a few of them are probably going to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But then he says, just be careful, though, since we won't be there to support you.
First thing he does is rob a food stall.
Yeah, he's gonna go right back to that door, like immediately.
I must
like-
know what's in.
Or like imagine
He-
like he just
He
finds that
said
weird
investigate. He
swarm
didn't
of,
say where to investigate.
or he just finds that weird swarm of kids that was just
Yeah.
the swarm.
I could give them
come back with
lessons.
reinforcements.
They try
Like,
to rob him again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just swarm him like World War Z, and then when they're done, he's just like completely like stripped of all his belongings, stole everything.
Yeah, it's like
It's
No,
the
no.
orphan swarm. Run!
No, those are my apprentices, right? That's the beginning of my
He's not
thieves
for
guild in the
It's
city.
just very funny. It's just like the point of view is like from like a movie or whatever. Like they're having their entire thing, and you just pop in, and you're like, "Hi," and you ruin their entire plot. Oh
Anyway.
god, that's hilarious.
So what would you guys like to do?
Well, I was gonna ask, Lord, is there anywhere you'd like me to search specifically?
Yeah. He says, he points again to those 3 locations, and says, "You're better at sneaking than I am, so you can probably get closer to those places than I could. But just because the guards are distracted doesn't mean they're going to be unguarded. I would hazard a guess that those places probably have their own guards. So be wary, but try to get some information about those. Any one of them, really." And he points to that tower in the distance there, and the College Lake place over here, and the place across the lake there. But when he points to the place across the lake, he says, "That place might be too risky. It's big and open and doesn't seem very good to sneak into. I wouldn't recommend it."
Understood.
Yeah, Rio's going to get more food for both us and for the show tonight.
Mhm.
Also, probably going to pick up some new spices and herbs to add to the meal.
Hmm.
What did you say, Will? I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Rio is going to go get some more food for the show and to restock ourselves, and
Alright.
B, some more herbs and spices to season the meat.
So, real quick, who's going to have the money? Because it's 1,000 gold. Or would you guys split it amongst yourselves?
Probably split it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys
split
go
it.
ahead and handle that. And I will also let you guys roleplay amongst yourselves for a moment. Because I actually have to go to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, since Sylvie is funded independently, there's 4 of
Yeah.
us to split it amongst, so just
That'd be 250
Yeah.
each.
Like, I'm kind of imagining my character just like
50 each. Seems like a
Yeah.
good deal.
was kind of practicing like this weird like the dagger juggling thingy, but with my dagger set like come back to my arm thing. So if I make a mistake, I can just basically just have it go back to my arm thing, pull it out, and just get back.
Recall
Yeah.
it before it hits you.
Or like just before I mess up. Just like,
Yeah,
oh, where'd that
Loren-
dagger go? And it just
yeah.
brings back into the thing. And then like if you're doing your thing and like you're like maybe like, doing balls or whatever, I can like throw my dagger or whatever. Like, as it's that like, juggling thing, I could throw it at one of your like your juggle thingy, but before it hits it, I can just recall it.
Yeah. Laura will also probably give some pointers on juggling because he knows how to do that. That's like he's good at that. So,
Yeah. So I'm just like basically
he
just
will-
practicing.
Yeah, he will give that. I'll give some advice on that just to get everybody sharpened up.
I guess Nelson's gonna be trying to plan out his infiltration of one of the places.
Like meanwhile, we're just like doing this like the circus thing. He's over here like my mask.
What were the 3 places? You
Uh,
said there was one across the lake.
Mission
There was some
Impossible.
kind of
I can
tower.
I can ping them on the map.
It's like
Yeah, there's
uh,
one there, and there's that one, and then the tower is there. Yeah.
yeah.
it's like so we're doing circus things and
So-
Nelson's doing like Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So across the lake is very open.
Yeah, it's like without having, just to save time, so Laura doesn't have to explain it all out loud. There's a bunch of people over there who are doing nature magic, and it's like an orchard. Like all there are is trees there, so there's not a lot of space to hide, and it's really obvious if you go there because there's nothing else in that vicinity. You know, like if you're going there, there's nowhere else that you could reasonably be going to in that zone. But the other two are a lot more easy to get near. Like Laurent got really close to the tower without having anyone like try to stop him. And presumably the college type place in the center it seems to be the least important of the three and would likely be the easiest one to get into.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking the tower. I could scale that. Don't even have to walk in. Just scale it. I got good acrobatics.
Yeah, you could try.
Assassin's Creed my way up there.
Laurent was only advising that you only... he was trying to insinuate only getting near them and investigating, but if you successfully get inside, I guess he won't be complaining.
Hey, that's part of the investigation. I get in depth there.
Yeah, go above and beyond.
Maybe I can find the shadier part of town. Talk to some of the shady characters, see what they know.
Yeah, if they know about any vulnerabilities or anything like that.
The people's in the alleyways.
Hey, Nelson's one of those people, alright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
that
he's-
background feature for like
Like he's
having a criminal contact. I just haven't really written that
he's
into.
that guy who sits on the corner of the street smoking a cigarette with a coin in his hand. Like
Alright,
he's
I
that
am
guy.
back.
Okay, so we've had it where we're planning circus things. Nelson's planning to do Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't forgot. I think Lawrence. Lawrence is like giving me like
Yeah, Laurent is
juggling,
kind of
juggling.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of helping everybody get ready, which would basically just be Sylvie and Cat Nora.
Yeah.
Because you know, Red's not here, but we kind of established before that Cat Nora would be like the strong man of the act. So
Oh yeah.
let's just assume that's what Cat Nora is doing. is
Red did say
picking
to
up heavy stuff.
NPC Cat Nora if we needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with my active stuff, I'm planning to use my or like my dagger thing that can like just come back to me
Mm-hmm.
after it. Right? So I'm like, if I mess up on any like the juggling stuff, I can just basically like, oh, dagger back to my thing, pull it out again, bring it back like the juggling thing, and then I'm planning to, if Laurent is doing anything, I can just like have like my kind of throw my dagger at him, and maybe like call it back before it actually hits him. Type of thing, or maybe
Or-
actually hit one of his things and then like toss
and
it
then
up in the air or whatever.
Yeah, he could toss it up, it disappears. They could toss it back and forth. They could do all kinds of stuff.
I mean, you could even do like a William Tell type of act too if you really wanted to.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you might have to explain William Tell to Sylvie here.
It fits my character too. My character is basically kind of like a weird army brat. I'm like, that's so me.
I'd have to remember specifically what William Tell is. Like I know, but I also forgot.
Basically, the William Tell is like the story of like when he shoots the apple off the top of one of his.
Oh yeah,
friends'
yeah,
heads.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
classic.
yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, yeah,
Shooting
yeah,
an apple off the head. Right. I remember now.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because if it always if it's like looks like it's going to miss, I can always just call it back and try again, then just like play it off, as if like that's part of the plan.
But, all right. So we're gonna start off with Nelson. How would you like to go about investigating where you were planning to go investigate?
Dun, dun. Mission Impossible time.
I like to find the shady part of town.
All right.
I'm looking for
I mean,
the
there
less
really
scrupulous
isn't
characters.
a shady side of the neighborhood that you would like normally see as the shadiest part of town, because being a different type of city, when you like this, the shady side of the neighborhood doesn't really look shady. It looks more, I guess you could say, like lower middle class.
Hey Dragon.
Huh?
Could you put in Red's channel that his character has 250 gold? We decided to split that 1,000 gold between the 4 of our characters, so we all get 250 of it.
Yeah.
And I figured that would be the best place to put it. I could do it, but I'm not clicking on that channel because there are character things in there I shouldn't see. So.
1 second. Yeah, give me a second.
You know, minor illusion is really convenient for, like, just like hiding things because the maximum visual that it can be is a 5-foot cube. And since that's around the size of your average person, that can cover up most things about somebody.
That's so cool.
Like, even if it's like a 6-foot person, you can mostly just cover them up. At least whatever's the most important things to hide. It's a useful spell.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
My favorite spell that Laurent has that I haven't got to use yet is Gift of Gab. It's essentially a spell that lets you load your quick save and say something different than you did, and make everyone forget what you said the first time. You get to like retry. You get to choose a different dialogue option because the first one went wrong. It's really funny.
All right. And yes, Shorty, I have been hydrating every single damn time you spam that shit.
Good. Make sure you cannibalize on the water.
All right. Anyway. All right. I haven't had a bot show up in the freaking chat yet, so that's good.
Is that a gold? Yeah.
Anyway. So. All right. So, like I said, the shady side of the neighborhood isn't necessarily the shady side of the neighborhood. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I accidentally closed the map. There we go. Okay. Anyway, it looks more like lower middle class versus slums, or, you know what I'm talking about, like the projects or something like that. It's like lower middle class, like a suburban type thing, but in medieval times.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess then I should more specifically search for the those kids running the scams.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, shady individuals.
The shady individuals.
Find
Instead.
a swarm.
Yeah, the horde.
The horde. Yeah.
The leopard dead.
It's the orphan horde! Run!
No!
Yep.
Jockey.
Anyway. So you are going to be specifically looking for the shady kids that tried to rob you. So.
Indeed.
What you do find. You find a place called Hazel Mumpy's Orphanage.
Oh my god, it's like a cartoon place.
It's the name that came off the top of my head, okay? Don't judge me. Anyway.
It's a very orphanage-y name.
Huh?
Orphanage-y name.
Yeah.
Hazel Mumpy's Orphanage. It was the first thing that came into my head,
Yeah.
okay?
It's very fitting.
Anyway.
It's the kind of name an orphanage would have.
Anyway, so you do find the orphanage, which I will show you upon the map where it is. So,
Let me look.
Hazel Mumpy's Orphanage is... Hold on.
He's thinking about where to put it.
Yeah,
It is
looking for
over
a good spot.
here.
I was looking right there. I was like, it's gonna be down there. It's gonna be down there.
So yeah,
It was.
that is where Hazel Mumpy's orphanage is.
That's where the spawn point of the orphans are.
That's where the orphan nest is. You gotta destroy that so they stop spawning.
Yeah.
Helldivers type stuff.
Yep. Throw a grenade in.
So you see the orphanage. What would you like to do?
Large
now?
orphan outpost.
I guess I'd like to enter to see if they're there, and if they're not there, that means they're already out scamming for the day.
Yeah, they're already loose.
All right. So you walk into the orphanage, and you actually see the boy that tried to take your money sack off your hip.
Hmm. Well, at least there's one of them here.
He looks up and he sees you. He says, "I didn't do nothing this time."
Oh, whoa, relax. I'm not here because you did something.
I'm here so you can do something.
Yes, I actually am in need of your help.
All right. What you need help with?
I'm looking for information.
Oh. Well, information doesn't come free.
Oh, believe me, I know.
All right. What you want to know?
I want to know about that magic tower in town.
Which one? You're in a wizard city, man.
The
G1.
the one that Loren mentioned. I don't know what he.
Yeah, you can point it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That's where the archmage of the city is.
Oh, that's some good info.
Yeah, nobody gets on there without like some really hefty permissions. Such as from the archmage himself.
I see.
Very interesting.
That's good to know. What can you tell me about the college in town?
Which one? You're in a wizard city
The-
again.
The one in the northern part of town.
Yeah, the one
the
near
main
that
one.
tower.
Not far from the tower itself.
Oh. Well, that's where the poorer kids of the city tend to go to college.
Hmm.
They learn a little bit of everything there. It's kind of like, to put it simply, in like above table for the players. It's kind of like what would be considered a community or junior
Yes.
college.
It's average. It's
Yeah.
not specialized. It's just a college.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, there's really no poor kids within the city, but
Yeah, only
Except
4
for-
by the city's standards.
except for us. Us kids who don't have rich daddies and mommies.
Gotcha. And what can you tell me about that weird orchard place across the water? The ones who
Oh,
practice
that's,
the
that's-
nature magic.
That's the druid college.
Oh, interesting. That is, to my knowledge, very unusual.
Anything you
Druids
can
don't
tell me
typically
about it?
operate like that.
Well, I mean, druids, I mean, they're not like, higher up there on the mages in the city. There's okay, so there's a hierarchy here in the city that nobody talks about. All right, I mean, if you're of magical inclination within the city, you get a measure of respect. But if you don't have magic, well, someone's got to clean the latrines, if you know what I mean.
I see.
So, now, the kid, there's two things that get you high in this city. I mean, and I'm not talking high like, hey, let me get that, and, you know, let me get a hit of that type thing. I'm talking high as in within the hierarchy. So, two things, money and magic. So, if you're powerful enough in magic, like say you don't have a whole lot of money, but you're powerful in magic, what you could do is you can use your magic to do some favors for those in town to make yourself some money. And if you're strong enough, you can get rich pretty quick in this city. But you can't move up without one without the other. You have to have both to get high in the societal, whatever the hell it's called. But, you know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of like how the hierarchy works here. Now, for druids, which is the druid college across the lake, a druid college is not something that's very normal. But I guess the druids wanted a place within the hierarchy, so they have a college. But they don't really respect the druids, you know, as much as they would other mages, if you get what I mean.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
I rented. I was looking around a in town earlier today. Had a very interesting trap.
Oh, you tried to break into the warehouse, huh?
Maybe I might have known someone who tried.
Well, judging by the burns on your face there, I'd say it was probably you. But I won't make any accusations. So, you want to learn how to get in, don't you?
I might be interested in such information.
Tell you what. I'll give you the hierarchical information and the major information about the mage colleges. It's kind of like a freebie. But for this information, you'll have to pay a pretty penny. Say a gold piece.
Man, he's innocent. Don't even know how much he could be getting.
You know what?
He's a kid. He's, you know, a gold piece is a lot to him.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the actual economy, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But you know,
I will.
that will
give
buy
him
him many meals of food.
I will give him 2 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Guys, you're gonna make it worth the spawner for the
He tries to hide the excitement in his face as he takes the gold, and he says, "Okay."
That's for the information and to be willing to help me out with whatever other information needs I'll have next time.
Oh, so paying in advance for the next information. I like how you think. So, all right. This is how you do it. They have magic at both doors. There's the main door, which is at the front, which is the two big doors at the front, and then there's the door in the back, which is just a normal door, which is the one you went through, by the way, Cerberus. That was the back door that you went in.
Yes. Well, that's what I wanted to. So.
So, he says, but, in the arrogance of these wonderful mages, they don't have any enchantments on their window.
Wow.
You see, they don't think that anybody within the city would stoop so low as to go in through the windows like a common burglar. Which makes no sense when you are trying to prevent your building from being robbed.
Really naive.
I'm just saying, these mages are all kinds of book smart, but they don't know anything about the streets. That's all I'm saying.
High
Not like
low
the two
wisdom.
of us.
Why
Exactly.
do I imagine these kids be like an Italian mafia?
Yeah.
Well, it's often the beggars and the forgotten tend to know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a pleasure doing business with you. I have
Pleasure
some,
to do business with you as well.
I have some other matters to attend to.
Right. And tell you what, next time I see you and your friends, maybe I can show you guys a thing or two about the trade. You know, help refine your craft, so to speak.
He's the spawn leader.
I actually think that me and my friends would be quite interested. We'll be in touch with you.
I can imagine
Alright.
the climax of the campaign is like all hope is lost, and then he pulls out his little war horn and summons the orphan horde to help us.
Yeah, the orphan horde just shows up and just lays
Yeah.
waste to everything.
My thieves guild made entirely of orphaned children.
Yeah, an entire orphanage is just the Thieves Guild.
And they all talk like they're an Italian mob. I don't know why I did that.
We
but I
talk
just
like
did.
this.
It's just like-
the only
That's the voice that you give to like the like thieving, you know, paperboy hat wearing orphan, you know.
Yeah,
that's just what
that
comes
just
down,
like
Godfather.
subconsciously happened. I don't know why.
He's got like suspenders on.
Yeah, that's just like the image I got in my head that it just slipped right into it. I
We
don't know
tie
why.
cinder blocks to the feet of the no good rats in the city.
You know, you got the child godfather,
Literally,
the
the
child
rats.
godfather that's like, I'm going to make you an offer you cannot refuse.
Me
Yeah.
speaking to the archmage.
Yeah. Like
Anyway.
the one orphan like turning around in his chair that he has to sit on books to be above the desk.
And he's got a fucking cat in his lap, just.
Yeah, and he's smoking a lollipop.
Anyway, all right. So moving on. So what do you want to do now, Cerberus?
What do I want to do now? I want to use my I want to use my newfound information to
Get into the warehouse.
Yeah,
Alright,
warehouse 2 electric boogaloo.
All right. So we're gonna move on from your thing for right now, and we're gonna go to Loren, setting up this carnival
Cirque du Soleil.
in the
Yep.
center. So let me know. Tell me how you're gonna set this all up. What are you gonna have sitting out there and all that stuff?
He's gonna keep most of what he has where it is, like the table and stuff, but on the table he's gonna lay out all the stuff that we're gonna need, and then he's gonna just like sort of get what he can to use as temporary seating to like put out in this sort of town square area. Like he's gonna put rocks, buckets, whatever he can use as stuff for people to sit on, because people don't want to stand and watch, they want to sit and watch. He's gonna lay that out, and he's gonna like put out that little sign and have it say, you know, like Circus open tonight. And I'm not sure You know what? He's going to. Let me check specifically what he has, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, he has a lantern. So he's going. It's a hooded lantern too. So he's gonna turn that on and just have the lantern on like the table, so that people can see. Or no, he's not gonna put it on the table. Actually, he's gonna go put it on the ground at like the base of the hill, so that people can see the light from the lantern and like wonder what's going on over here, to sort of attract attention to the circus.
All right. Are you gonna kind of like be moving around the perimeter and shouting out to passerby that
Yeah,
there's, you know,
and you know
circus
that's
starting?
that'll be helpful because he has another thing that he can use for that. He has a bell. He has a little bell, so he's gonna walk around. He's gonna ring that every now and then, and just sort of, whenever he sees somebody walking past, he'll be like, you know, come back over here tonight to see the circus in town. You know, just gonna spread the word a little bit.
All right, all right.
He's not gonna stray too far, you know, just to keep an eye on whatever's going on.
All right. So, yeah, you do that, you know, for to get it to the point where it's starting to, you know, maybe an hour or two before the sun goes down. People are coming in, you know, after eating their dinners, and you know, coming for like a, you know, after dinner show. You know, they start showing up. You get like, you know what? Roll me a performance check to see like how well you're, you know, wandering and crying out to the village, the people of the city worked.
That is a 25.
You did very well. You brought a decent sized crowd, which is going to be a that is horseshit. We'll say we'll tack on an extra 0 to that because it should be more for your, because you got a 25. It should be more than just 20 people. I mean, come on. So we'll say you get 200 for your first crowd in this city.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we'll say
Once
200.
like that many people gathered, he's like, oh, okay, that's a little bit more than we expected.
Yeah, you did very well. You got a lot of
It's
people.
only been, you know,
interested.
a couple dozen.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of people means a bigger distraction. So, and you know, while this big
wait,
crowd of
actually,
people have gathered,
here, let me do it this way.
Who
Let me do it
wants-
this way. I'm gonna do it because the 200 is a little bit much. Instead of doing one D100, we'll do 2 D100, and that'll give us 99. It's still a lot.
yeah,
But, you
seems
know,
a bit more reasonable.
It's
though.
a bit more reasonable.
I
So
feel like 200 people would like take up this entire like.
that would be like
town
if it was like a
area.
natural 20. If you'd gotten a natural 20,
Yeah.
then I would say you got like 200.
Yeah, the base of my roll was only an 18.
Yeah.
I just have a really high performance. But while this crowd of people is here, and while he's going around just getting the last bits of attention and setting up, he's going to get a look at this crowd of people, and specifically he's looking for any mage robes that he recognizes. Are any mages from those colleges attending this performance?
Yeah, you see some of the people that show up, they actually are still wearing the robes of the school that they came from.
Mm-hmm. And are there, how many? Like, roughly? Is there a lot of them, or are there only a few?
Yeah.
He just wants to get, like, he wants to know if he's also distracting from those places at the same time.
Well, yeah, because when you were walking around telling people, word had spread a bit.
Mhm.
You know.
Alright.
So you got a smattering of different colleges here. It's not a lot of college students right now. But
Okay.
you did get a smattering of students within the.
Yes.
A lot of what shows up though is like the guy had kept his promise. He brought, you know, a lot of his guard buddies to this show.
Yes, that is good to see. That the guards are distracted.
Yeah.
And I feel like during all of this, he's kind of nervously glancing over to the warehouse because he's like, I really hope he doesn't try to hit that again. Like, it's
Which
right
he's
there, man.
totally going to.
Yeah, he is going to hit it, and Laura is like, you better not, you better not if I see him.
Right. Yeah, you managed to gather this crowd. How do you address the crowd when they arrive?
Yes. Firstly, he's going to take that lantern, and now that everyone's here, he's gonna extinguish that and put it away. It's a fire hazard. Yeah, that's the reason I didn't put it on the table earlier, is because I'm not giving the DM any evil routes to light everything on fire and kill us. Anyway,
Let's
goes
roll
and
and see if
checks
that
in.
freaking lantern randomly explodes. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's like I'm not putting a lantern on the table made of wood full of items we're gonna be reaching for, because at any moment you could be like, hey, roll dexterity to so that you don't knock over the lantern. You know, like I'm not. Nope. So he's gonna go check in on the others and see if everybody's ready first.
All right.
And just see how everyone's doing.
So we have
So how is?
Sylvie and we have Nora right now. I'm
Yeah.
sure Rio will be back later, and I guess Rio
Yes.
can maybe.
Probably is already back, I would assume.
Yeah, I would say you just got some food supplies and some spices. I'll say you probably would at most maybe,
Hydrant, you
depending
bastard!
on if
Hydrant!
you decide to add like some of the more expensive spices to your repertoire. I would say you'd probably spend about. I would say you'd probably spend like 2 gold altogether for the food that you managed to gather and the spices. That would be if you're including like the expensive spices within, your regular normal spice gathering from the general store.
Yeah, I would.
All right. So I'd say 2 gold for your supply of food, the more expensive spices along with the regular spices, and it all comes together at about 2 gold.
No, go to bed.
I don't want to go to bed.
Okay.
Sorry, one of my sisters was telling one of my brothers that, and they're not listening. Because this is like their bedtime. And like one of them's like, I'm not gonna listen to you. And she's like, no.
All right.
Now they're already to bed.
So
Yeah.
you would ask both. So actually, how would you incorporate Rio to this show? Rio is, as a kitsune, is able to really do well with like illusion magic.
Yeah.
So.
Laurent, I mean, our cover story was that he was the cook.
Well, I mean,
along with
naturally,
us.
kitsune are like they are proficient with like illusion magic.
Yeah, and
just
Laurent,
naturally.
Laurent has caught on to what he's doing. He knows that he's like, getting like snacks
If
and
I'm
stuff
not
with people. So
mistaken,
he's just gonna tell him. He's gonna tell him, if you want to do a performance, go right ahead. But you can also just stick to what you're doing. That's also great. Do whatever you please. Just don't get crazy with it, unless you let us know. Like it seems that the plan that we already have is good.
Yeah. It's all be acting with you.
Yeah, feels good letting them handle the actual show while he handles the snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So you guys know your stations. Now you've established that with your crew. How do you address the crowd?
Yes. Now that we know that we are ready, Laurent is going to. He's gonna like begin sort of just like. It seems as though he's just casually walking towards the audience now, but then suddenly he takes out his hammer and he quietly mutters the code word, and it extends out into that full-size giant mallet, and he uses it to kind of... He does like a half pole vault, where he sticks the head of the hammer to the ground and then uses the momentum to lift himself up onto the handle, and like balance on top of that. And then once he's on top of it, out of his sleeve, he slips out a tiny little trumpet, and he plays a little fanfare. And with that fanfare, he casts Minor Illusion to create some miniature fireworks that come out and like, and the fireworks explode into the shape of the word circus. And then he, looks to everybody in the crowd, and kind of spreads his arms a little bit and kind of wobbles unsteadily on the hammer as he does so, and intentionally, and says, seems that we've gathered a larger crowd than we anticipated, but that is no matter because you're all here and we are all here and we are ready. And as he says that, he leans forward so that he kind of tumbles forward off the hammer, lifts it up, returns it to the normal tiny size, and stows that away since he doesn't need it for the moment. And he claps together his little kobold hands, so it's not a very loud clap, but it's loud enough that that the others can hear it. And he kind of looks to... He starts to get his things ready, his specifically his juggling things, and he looks to Sylvie as he does so, and he begins with just a simple little juggle at first, and is waiting for her to add on to it.
So I'll kind of like, I'm kind of imagine we're all like, where they can see us, I guess. But
yes,
you're
there's
things.
probably
I'm
like a
kind of
little
like
clearing in the crowd so that we can
Okay.
do our stuff.
Okay. All the dogs are barking. Nice. That's not part. Hey, we don't need that as part of the circus theme.
Got our lion tamer.
No. Okay, so I'm using my 2 daggers from my what is it called? My bracer flying daggers. Now I'm basically kind of doing like the 2 dagger I don't know what's called, like a juggle thingy, and then like I'll just like in the middle of that I'll kind of like try to be very fluid about it, just like kind of just like toss one at him and then continue kind of like just tossing my other one.
Yeah.
And then you can just do whatever you need to do with that dagger, but I can always just pull it back.
Yeah, he catches the first one and incorporates that into the juggling at first, and then he tosses it back, but he does a nice like underhanded toss so that there's enough time for
and then,
her to react to it.
Yeah, so that by the halfway time gets to me, it vanishes, and then basically next time you kind of look at me, I'm doing the 2 again.
Yeah, and he kind of does like a faux like expression of surprise as it disappears midair, as though he wasn't expecting that, even though he was. And he like sort of like as he's continuing to juggle, he looks at his hands. He's like, "Hang on, where did it go?" Like I'm pretty sure I threw it. And then while he does that, he looks down, and then he looks down some more, and then he looks down enough that he rolls forward, and falls, tumbles, lands again, and then continues the juggling. Like he lets all the stuff kind of suspend midair for a second as he does a tumble.
While it's in midair,
and goes back.
would be cool if it's midair. I kind of throw my daggers into the pile of midair. That's in midair.
Oh yeah.
So like when you do yeah.
Like you toss it up so that it lands in time with the other stuff. So that
yes,
you can
I'm doing
catch it.
both. Yeah, I'm doing like should I do like one dagger and then another dagger in succession, or should I do both at the same time?
Do one at first, and then I think he'll go back to that and he'll turn, and then like once he's facing her again, she can toss another.
Yeah, I'll toss it.
And so then he continues with the stuff, and then he kind of mimes out like noticing that he has 2 daggers now. It's like he pretends to have not even realized he picked those up, and he looks like kind of indignantly like, "Why do I have this?" And he takes one of the daggers and he tosses it up in the air so that it can be disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared, and then now I'm kind of doing a juggle with one.
And then he kind of looks up as though he's expecting it to come back down, and it doesn't. And then he does the other one, and
It
continues
disappears.
juggling.
It disappears.
And
And I'm
yeah,
now I'm juggling
he,
too.
like, he kind of looks around at the crowd, and he's like, "Do any of you have that?" You know, while like behind him, Sylvie has the daggers, but he's like looking at the crowd and asking them if they caught it. You know.
And then while you're in your confusion, I'll just like toss one more, or I'll toss like one. See,
Yeah, like
where did that
he
come
has-
from?
yeah, like he has his back to her, and then when she catches it, all the juggling stuff that he had currently lands in his hand, and then he over his shoulder catches the dagger as it comes to him, and
Yeah.
looks at it, and then just goes into the routine again with it.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
eventually it disappears and go back to me because can't see out that long.
yeah. And then let me see if I have any. Let's see if I have any good. No. Okay. I want to check if I had any good spells that I could use at the moment. Not yet. Really the only useful one would be message or minor illusion. Message would be good for coordination. But then he is going to all of the things. I assume he has, I don't know what he's got. He's got 3 items that are juggleable. He tosses all of them up into the air, like high, so that it'll take a minute for them to come back down. And then he does he does sort of a cartwheel, and as he does the cartwheel, he slips out a ball bearing onto the floor so that he can do a big slip on that. And it seems like he's gonna fall, but then he uses that momentum to tumble back up into a standing position and catch 2 of the items, but the third one takes a minute to come back down, and he looks around like, oh, where'd it go? And then it comes and boom, lands him right on top of his head. And like, he's like, oh, like he pretends like he's just got like really, like, like he got like knocked out or like he's dazed now. And then when, and he's got like all 3 of the things kind of in a pile in his hands, and he tosses 2 of them to begin juggling, and then the third thing he kind of sleight of hand slips it under his sleeve so that it disappears, and he keeps the 2, and then he kind of looks like, where'd the third one go?
And then I'll toss like a dagger into the mix.
Yeah, and a dagger, and he catches that, and he's like, he hasn't said anything, but he's conveying through body language and expression like what he's thinking, and he kind of like sees it and nods like, oh, there it is, even though it's clearly not the correct item. And he keeps going, and then when the knife disappears, he then slips out that third item again and incorporates it back in the juggle, and he pretends to not notice that the items were switched as he goes at it. And then let's see. Ooh, I know what to do.
We're trying to have good times, just like mixing the daggers. Fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like sort of a finale to the show that he's gonna do, and let's pretend that during all of this, Kat Nora is like lifting stuff or something. I don't know, doing strong things. And then
Ooh, finale should have both daggers, I would think.
So he sort of slips away one of the items again, and he replaces it with it's a kazoo. It's what it is. It's a kazoo, and he, in the middle of tossing the items, he very briefly gives it a little hoot on the kazoo, and using that, he casts minor illusion, so that the illusion makes it appear as though he drops all of the items, but when they hit the floor, they seem to just disappear, like they go through the floor. And the illusion of him looks around like, oh, where'd they go? You know? And then the illusion makes it appear as though the items are thrown at him from the crowd, and he catches one of them, and then the other one hits him on the back of the head. But as it bounces off of him, he catches it again, and then the illusion dispels, and he's in that position, with the items caught. And then he piles them all up into one hand, and then gives like a bow to the crowd, as he does.
Yeah, and I think in tandem while you're doing that, I'll kind of like once you do your ultimate thing, I'll kind of like I'm not tossing the daggers at you because like you already did like a thing. I don't want to like mess you up, so I'll kind of like just like toss the daggers up in the air. As soon as they're about to like fall down to the ground, they just like disappear. Yeah.
But yeah, that is the performance. So what does the crowd think?
They must be really shocked.
Dragon?
Dragon.
You're not here.
Dragon?
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Yeah. Have you been
just-
here?
We just finished the act.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was reading something.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we did a bunch of fun juggling stuff, and at the end, Laurent did an illusion to make it seem like he dropped the items, and then they got thrown back to him by the crowd. And the illusion version of him caught one and then got hit on the head with the other, but he still caught it after it bounced off of him. And then, he dispelled the illusion, piled all the items, and gave a bow, and then Sylvie tossed the daggers up, and then they disappeared before they hit the ground. So,
All right. So this is
yeah,
what
there's
we're
a bunch
gonna do.
bunch of juggling, knife tossing, and some illusions to keep it all together.
So what we're gonna do is I'm going to be so this was a joint effort between Sylvie and Laurent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you either roll individual performance checks, or you can give a joint do a joint spell check essentially, where I mean not spell check, skill check. One person rolls with advantage.
I think that I should roll with advantage because
Yes.
Laurent has a really high plus to his performance.
I got nothing to my performance.
Yeah, he has a +7, so I think.
Yeah, so yeah, he should get the
he should do
advantage.
that. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
Not that he needed it, but you know.
Yeah.
Wow, I
So
rolled
I'm
an
just looking
18 and a
at this.
19, so that would be a 26 for the higher roll.
All right, 26. So yes, between the two of you, between you and Sylvie, you do this performance flawless. And you get a round of applause from everybody within the that is watching from around your tent. Several people come forward and they're dropping, you know, little bits of gold on the table
Yes,
for
and
you.
in preemptively for that, instead of letting them go to the table, Laurent, he takes his hat off and he flips it so that they can all put their stuff inside of his hat.
Right on.
His stupid jester hat.
Yeah, they do that. They drop it in your hat, and they're giving saying, you know, yeah, you know, that he should post, you know, when he's going to be doing these shows during his time here, you know, and some have been asking how long that they think that he thinks he's going to be staying, because they want to see what other new cool shows that he comes up with.
Yeah, and he just gives a bunch of vague answers, like, you know, oh, we'll let you know, like, oh, we'll figure it out, like he doesn't know for sure, so he's just gonna sort of roll with it.
All right.
And then once the crowd sort of, disperses and everyone's done, he's gonna plop his hat down on the table and sort through everything that we got.
All right, so since this is a richer neighborhood, there is of course more gold than there is anywhere else, but you do see some like smaller bits of change, but it's not much.
Yeah.
You managed to gain, let me roll.
Not supposed to just say it's too long for it. Not doing anything else. Like maybe stupid.
It's pretty the most fun my character's had in a long time.
You managed to gain 55 gold.
Hey.
Yeah.
And 18 silver.
Whoever helped me.
Hmm.
And 49 copper.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, now we just gotta figure out how to split that.
So 11 gold pieces each,
Okay. 11.
and then 3 silver pieces.
Okay.
And then 9 copper pieces.
I forgot it was like Friday. Well, I was just at.
Yeah, and Dragon, do you want me to do cook's utensils for the treats?
Say again?
Do you want me to do cook utensils for the treats?
Yeah. Let's see how well you cook things up.
Okay.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
And you just leave everything else.
Yeah, and I don't have anything that really helps.
I would say, I wouldn't be performance. I'll say do an not acrobatics. Hold on, let me take a look here.
What do you think of sleight of hand? Is it
Survival,
Cooking?
maybe?
Yeah, I would say
Yes, sir.
survival.
Okay.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not
I
a natural
tried.
one, but I will say that there's a few people that buy your food, and they just. I apologize to you, my good sir, but they don't look so good after they eat it. And they kind of the word kind of spreads that the food isn't very good. So I would say the only menu that you made that day. Hold on.
I mean, people don't really expect food to be good at places like this anyway.
You managed to make 6 silver pieces.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, and it's always my characters. They either roll very good or very bad. Like, Ryu's, like one of the tenets of the Open Harvest is essentially to share your meal with others. And so he should be good with cooking. And regardless of whatever I roll, I always eat
I'll say that you're nervous cooking for so many people. You weren't expecting this many people. I'll say that's the reason.
we can put the blame on that on Laurent.
Yeah.
You were nervous. You weren't on your game today because you were just not expecting this many people.
Like, they must not have a lot of entertainment. God.
Well, this is an academic city essentially, so not
yeah.
really. They don't
You kinda
have
get that.
much in the way of entertainment.
Yeah, school's boring, so it makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Now, this would probably be about the time that Nelson would be making his way back after your performance for the night was done. You see Nelson approaching the tents. So, Nelson, it is up to you how you decide to relay this information to your team.
Sorry. It turns out the magic mage's tower you saw is the tower of the archmage of the city. So, suffice to say, that's a place like that might just be a bit too much for even my skills of infiltration.
I think he, it's like, oh yeah, that is a very good point. A lot more important than I anticipated.
That the college you saw in town is just, it's more of a, for your average mages, not the particularly talented ones.
Yeah, and he says, he seems about right.
And but the building you saw with the orchards across the lake is a druid's college, it seems.
Yeah, and he kind of, he tilts his head at that, because I would assume most magically inclined people know that isn't typically how druids roll. Usually they have conclaves that meet out in the woods and stuff. So having a college is a bit weird. And he says that. He's like, oh, that's strange.
From my understanding, it's so they could have a place in the city's hierarchy.
And he's just like, yeah, that checks out.
So, if we really want to get to the bottom of what's really going on here, it's likely we'll find that mage's tower. But it's not exactly someplace we could really sneak into. It seems one of us who magically inclined will have to earn a considerable amount of magical ability and wealth to reach such a place.
Or be invited.
Yes, but to be invited, you kind of have to have.
You have to have some leeway, some sort of leverage of some sort.
Yes. And from my understanding, the best way we could do that is to do some work and favors for some of the higher standing mages and nobles in the city. And also, I learned how to get into that warehouse.
And like when he says that, Lord's like, well, you didn't try, did you?
I plan to.
And he's just like, how risky is it?
Well,
He knows he can't stop him.
assuming my information's 100% accurate, it wouldn't be risky at all.
Sounds too good to be true.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
See, my problem is you're supposed to be the rogue, but you didn't check for traps before you just flung the door open. That was my thing. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a
Like,
magic trap, there's literally no way I could do that with detect magic spell.
Yeah, you would.
Because
You would
magical
spell.
traps are different from just having a
yeah,
fire
you
at the
don't
door.
And also,
have the
like-
ability to detect magic. That is true.
You wouldn't really be able to find a trap on that door anyway, unless you were already on the other side.
Well, that is true.
Because the trap would be on the other side. You'd have to open the door to see it.
Yeah, if you because I forgot he he doesn't have any magical ability to be able to detect magic, even to detect the magic trap.
Yes, I can find conventional traps, not magical ones.
Wow, you're gonna have a hard time in this city. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a magical robe. That's what you need.
I have a cloak already.
No, a magical mage, a magical rogue. You know, that's what I said. Magical
Oh, a rogue. I thought you said.
Magical rogue, or maybe.
Well, I already picked
Oh.
swashbuckler.
Oh, I have an idea actually. I just had an idea.
Uh-oh. That's
Is
a
it
little...
looting that warehouse? Because that was definitely my idea.
All right, if you want to try and hit up the warehouse now, you can give it a try.
Absolutely.
People are heading home to go to bed, so, and the guards are heading back to start their rotation. So the guards haven't started patrolling yet. So this is your best chance.
Yep. Then I'm definitely going.
Yeah. Lord's not gonna go with him, but he's gonna watch. He's gonna keep an eye on the building.
All right.
Actually,
He's
hang
waiting
on.
for another explosion.
Yeah, he's waiting to go in and pull his dead body out. But I want to check something first.
Okay.
So that I can try to be of more assistance and to see how this particular spell works.
I mean, for what it's worth to the players, the orphan,
Yes.
the orphan was telling the truth. So,
Mm-hmm.
for what it's worth.
Well, I figured. It
Okay.
didn't seem like he was lying about anything.
Uh-huh. So,
Well, give good
have to
information,
ask-
get paid for later information. That's like what he's thinking,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what are
Yes.
the walls of the warehouse made out of?
They are made out of a. Actually, what did you roll? I'm assuming you rolled something.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
My plan is to cast message, to talk to him. And the way message works is that you can cast a spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier, which both of those are true. But it says that magical silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood will block it. So I want to know if any of those apply.
All right, roll me an Arcana check.
An Arcana check. Okay. I will do that. That's a 5. Great. Another abysmal roll. I only get the good rolls for the performance checks. I've only gotten them for those. Everything
This
else
was
has been like
actually
a 4 or
very
a 5.
very low DC. The DC was 5. Because this is something
Oh.
that you that you would be
I mean,
able
it's
to
like-
identify, because this is something that is actually known to anybody with like at least even a little bit of arcane knowledge. Okay, so the druids, there is a specific type of tree that is grown within Arlenthea that is specifically only grown by druids.
Interesting.
So this tree is cultivated and grown by the druids of Arlenthea. And what it is it's a magical tree made out of a very hard wood. It is used for shields, armor, stuff like that. But it's a tree that is literally that grows a wood that is literally as hard as steel. So it's a oh wait, let me look at my notes here just to tell you the name.
Well, I
Of
really
the tree.
hate to say this.
Uh-huh.
your cool lore drop means nothing because of a part of the spell that I just realized I hadn't read, which is that the spell doesn't have to follow a straight line and can freely travel around corners or through openings.
Right.
So
But this is an interesting,
Okay.
a little bit of
it is
lore
cool
knowledge.
though. But it won't stop me.
Right. It is a.
Yes, I have to open the window to get it.
Yeah.
They call it direwood.
Direwood, that's cool. Interesting. Is it?
It's a direwood tree that is specifically what the druids cultivate within our land.
Yeah,
And
This
this
building
building
is built
is
from it?
made out of that wood.
interesting. So it's a really tough wood. Very strong.
Yeah, it's tough enough that it doesn't easily catch fire, so it is useless to try and make campfires out of this wood, because it does not burn easily.
I see.
Which is why it is used on this warehouse. So just in case, like say, like there is a city fire, this
Or a fireball trap.
or a fireball trap specifically, that the wood itself won't catch fire. And if there happens to be a natural disaster of some sort, more than likely this building would still be standing.
Yes.
So whatever they have in this building would lead
Must
you
be
to
pretty
believe
important.
must be important.
Yes. So, Lord is going to relay that to Nelson. He's going to tell him this building's made out of a special kind of wood. It's burn resistant, and whatever's in there must be very important if they're going all out to build it out of this. This is probably some pretty expensive stuff.
Yes, direwood is
yes.
very, very expensive.
And like, I would imagine it's already very expensive just to get a shield or something made out of it, let alone a whole building.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's gonna tell him, I'm not going to follow you in there, but I will cast message on you, so we can talk through the building, and I will tell you whatever's going on outside, and you can relay to me whatever's inside, and I can try to offer input, and I'll let you know if anything comes your way.
Just to put in
Just to leave
perspective,
a window.
Perfect.
a direwood shield would cost 1,000 gold.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty expensive building.
Yeah.
Good thing they have druids here already.
Yeah, because not only is it hard to burn, it is very difficult to cut. It will literally, it's like they have to change the saw blade for each time they cut a plank. Like not after every plank, but like every tree that they cut into planks, after every tree they have to change the blade. Just to cut the wood into planks to be able to build something. And it takes specialized hammers to make to be able to have nails to pierce through the wood to be able to make them put them up like on a wall or something. So you know, it's not
probably
easy. It's not an easy wood to work with.
Yeah, probably need special nails too.
Yeah.
Special everything, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this building was very expensive to make. So, all right. So Nelson, you see that there are windows that if you were to get a running leap and kind of like use your feet to like run up the wall a little bit, you can grab onto a windowsill and be able to pull yourself up to one of the windows. Which
That is absolutely what I want to do.
That would require an acrobatics check.
Perfect. Wow. I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
So your first running leap, is it does not go well. Your foot slips and you fall, which would mean you take 1 moment. 4 bludgeoning damage as you fall to the ground.
Ow.
Ouchie.
You are.
Well,
Let me
if at
roll
first you don't
something real
succeed.
quick and see if anybody happens to hear you fall with a loud oof. Hold on. Let's roll a perception check. That's a 6, so no, because they only have a +1 to their perception. The person that was nearby was not actually a guard. If it was a guard, they would actually have a higher perception check. But this was just an average Joe that was nearby. So yeah, they don't hear and don't raise the alarm, so that gives you the chance for another attempt.
Yeah, and for this time, Laura's gonna give him Bardic Inspiration.
24, significantly better.
Yes,
Yeah.
you easily do
He
it
didn't.
this time.
You didn't even need
Hydrate,
that,
you
but you should
bastard,
keep that
hydrate!
just in case you need it. Later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you easily managed to run up the wall, run up the wall a little bit, grab the freaking windowsill, open the window, and climb in.
Once he is in, Laura is going to cast message on him, and the message that he sends is just gonna be just like, I've established the message spell, to
Yeah.
let him know, and he can respond to that whenever he pleases
This is true.
to relay
Good
whatever
to
he
know.
needs.
All right, so you get inside, and you take a moment for your eyes to adjust to the darkness within, as the sun is getting fairly low at this point, so it is dark. You look inside and you see several boxes everywhere.
Okay.
They're all
gonna-
wooden shipping boxes.
I'm gonna relay that to Laura. That I see a few boxes, some shipping crates here.
Mm-hmm. Laura's gonna look around, see if anybody is approaching the building or not.
Yeah, you see the average Joe, like, kind of passing by the circus, like, outside the warehouse.
Mhm.
And he actually
Yeah.
sees you guys up there on the hill, and he gives you a wave, like an excited wave. Like, this is one of the people that was actually there that had enjoyed your show. So he gives an excited wave to you.
Yeah. He waves, and he's like whispering this message so that and nobody far away would hear. And he says, "There's only one person outside right now. Isn't a guard, but be careful. Just keep it quiet in there." And he also says, "Keep an eye out as well, because there might be traps inside."
All right. Yes. I want to approach one of the crates.
All right. What do you want to do? Do you want to just open it, or what do you?
I want to look and feel around to see if there's a trap on there,
All right. Roll me an investigation.
like a conventional trap. I can't
Alright.
really find it.
All right. Roll me an investigation.
$16.
16. Okay. You don't feel any traps on the crate.
All right.
Huh.
I'm gonna take my handy dandy crowbar, try to quietly crack open this crate here.
All right. You open the crate, and inside you find a piece of parchment on top of, like, there's just a layer of hay that's meant to keep this protected, whatever's on the inside, protected from jostling or damage. And you see a piece of parchment on top that is the manifest of what is within the crate. And within the crate, what you find is that looking at this parchment, that it is filled with various. It is filled with various monster parts within jars.
Interesting. Any
Uh,
rare or potentially valuable parts in there?
You see in there, Phoenix gallbladder. You see unicorn horn. You see.
Oh wow.
You see. You just see a bunch of, like, specifically rare creature materials, essentially.
Fuck it. I'm gonna take a few of those.
All right. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, here it is. Here's the list. Okay. So you see, you saw the unicorn horn. You saw the phoenix gallbladder. You saw, you see in there also. You see naga tail. You see the eye of a cyclops. You just see like a bunch of different ones in here. So, like, what would you want to grab? The rarest of the materials, or would you just want to try and grab as many as you can?
Just a few of the rarest ones in there.
Okay, so the
I don't want to
rarest
completely fill
ones-
up my pockets here on first grade.
All right, so you see, you would probably get. Okay, there's only 3 very rare ones in here. There is you see Phoenix Feather, which is the rare, which is another Phoenix part that was in here. You see the Unicorn Horn, and you see the Tooth of a Dragon.
Definitely taking those 3.
Yeah, those are the 3 rarest within this group.
I'm also gonna keep the manifest with me.
Okay.
That's valuable information I could sell.
Yeah. All right. So do you try and open another crate?
I'm gonna like put the lid back on this one. You know, like make it look closed, cover my tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to go to the next crate.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna say is, like, you can open 3 crates. That's enough time, and then the guards are gonna probably start making their rounds, which will make escaping out of here a little bit more dangerous. You could still escape. You could open up, like, maybe a couple more crates, and but the thing is though, your escape would be more dangerous.
And
So
there is the potential to coordinate with Laurent to distract the guards if they come.
Yes.
He can do that.
So it's risk versus reward here.
yeah,
But for
So-
now, while I'm still safe, I'm gonna open
2
the
more
next
crates.
crate.
Okay.
The next 2, yeah.
Okay, so the next crate you open is the same thing. This has got hay on the inside to protect whatever's inside from jostle and damage, and another manifest on the top. You see that this is a crate of weapons.
Definitely useful in our profession.
What surprises you is that this shipment of weapons is from one of the countries within Arlentia.
Oh, who's selling to the damn wizards? We got some fucking rats here.
Yeah.
Not one of the ones that sent you, of course, because that'd be kind of dumb. But
I don't
this
know,
is
man. Money's money.
yeah, true. But it's the whatever. Specifically the Drow Kingdom.
Oh, wow. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed?
Ooh.
Now, within this, within my world, the Drow are not like, you know, because there's, you know how in some of the lore, Drow are just evil and stuff like that.
Dickheads.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this world, they're not like inherently evil. What it is that the Drow, selling to like trading with the Drow is difficult. Not very many people chance it because they live in the more dangerous part of Arlentia. So trade with them is difficult because of the monster concentration within where they live. So they tend to just kind of take trade where they can get it. So it seems that at least that the Wizard City is willing to trade with the Drow City.
Good info, good info.
I'm
And
glad
while
they
this
are.
is
It's my
happening,
gain right now.
Lord is going to look around some more, just to, you know, check.
Right now, there is nobody moving by.
Still
seems
clear.
yeah, it's still clear for now.
Yep, he's gonna relay that. Still clear, and he's gonna ask, you know, like, what's going on in there? Anything interesting?
Well, I found a crate with parts in it. Some rare monster parts. I've also just opened a crate with what seems to be weapons from the Drow.
Very interesting. I'm gonna have Laurent note that down in his notes.
Right. It has got an assortment of Drow weapons within inside. There's shields, there's swords, there's javelins, there's spears. There's a bunch of different weapons within it.
I'm gonna relay that to Laura. Ask if you have any preference on what I should take for you. You know, helping
He
me
doesn't
out
really have
here.
any interest. He doesn't have interest in any new weapons. So I think he'll just say, look for whatever's the most valuable.
That was my thoughts exactly. Is there anything that looks like particularly
I mean, these are all
fancy,
just
well made?
they're all just basic weapons. They are not magical. The only difference
Yeah, I
really
figured.
is within their design. They might look cool. There is daggers, short swords, long swords. There is, like I said, spears, javelins. Also bows.
I mean, I don't think any of us are really in need of a weapon, are we? I mean, I'm pretty sure we're
Yeah.
all already good.
All
So
right.
I'll just leave that be. I'll take the manifest.
All right. And for the third and final crate, you open that one up. Same deal. The hay, the manifest. But on the manifest, what you find is this would not be alarming to you. This would be alarming to Loret, who has some arcane knowledge. Within this one, you find it says it's a smaller crate, but it says on the crate that it has one item. It says ancient magical firearm.
Oh.
Condition fair.
I guess I'll relay that information to Laura.
Yeah, Laurent.
You,
when he hears that-
Nelson,
like,
you would have
what-
never have heard of a magical firearm.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is a magical
Yeah.
firearm?
Because in my
Yeah.
world, there are no firearms. Like, I don't generally do it. Like, in this period of time in my world, firearms haven't been invented yet.
Yeah,
So,
Laurent, he kind of pauses because he's surprised, and then he says, "You need to take that. That is a very high priority.
All right.
That is
You say
very
so.
important."
to finish real quick, what the manifest says, it says that it's to be delivered for study to the Archmage himself.
Oh shit.
Ah,
Well, I'll definitely be taking that and the manifest.
All right.
And, you know, reclose the crate.
All right. So you are within your attempt to have a low DC to be able to escape.
yeah. I think Laurent is gonna like relate to him, like, you know, the guards are gonna be coming soon, and it's gonna be more difficult to get out. But he can try and distract if need be.
Well,
All right.
what do you think?
Roll
I'm in here,
me-
and it's likely after tonight we won't be able to do this again. Should we keep going?
It's up to you.
Yeah, he just says that's really your call.
They don't call me Master Thief for nothing. I'm risking it for the next crate.
Gonna do one more
He's just-
crate. So this will raise your DC by a little bit, but
I like to think that Laura is just like, do they call you that? You know, like he wonders out loud.
All right. So
Well,
you open.
if you remember at the ceremony at the beginning, that's quite literally why I was hired. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of forgot about that. Got the specifics.
So, actually, it wouldn't say magical firearm. It would say magical weapon. But
What?
you
Potato.
know,
It's like he can, if you physically.
because like I said,
describes it, Laura
firearm.
would
Yeah,
recognize.
yeah.
it's like the same
Firearm.
thing.
I'm more explaining to the players, but it would
Yeah.
it would say on the manifest because I do have to change that because, like I said, firearms haven't been invented.
Yeah, there's
yet.
not a word for it
Yeah.
yet.
Jesse, what the fuck is a firearm?
But
Yeah.
it does say magical weapon. So it's
Yeah.
slated for study by the Archmage. But you know, you open the next crate though, and when you open the next crate, it says on this manifest that it says trying to think of the name.
Warehouse type stuff.
I'm trying to think of the name for this. That would be like how it would be worded. Okay. I'll just give it a simple name. It says on it, magical scope. Magic scope.
Ooh.
You,
Like a telescope?
Laura, would know that this is like this is a device that is used for studying the intricacies within magical objects. You know,
That does sound
it's,
very useful. It's
for
almost like a
finding out
microscope
like
or
how
like a
essentially
magnifying glass.
it's a tool for it's a tool that has the identify spell on it just for mechanical
Oh.
reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
it's like a magic appraisal.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
sounds very useful.
But specifically for understanding how a magical object works and what it does. So yeah, that's what it says on the manifest.
All right. Definitely, we'll take that in the manifest with me. Reseal the crate.
All right.
So, this is. I imagine Laurent sees the guards begin to patrol now,
Yes.
right?
And also, are you taking the item or just the manifest?
I'm taking both the item and the manifest.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I've been doing with like everything so far.
All right. And
Ex-
at
except
this
for,
point,
like,
you're
those common
starting to get
weapons
loaded
that-
down. You know, because you have the jars with the animal parts in them.
Yeah.
The magical firearm, and the magical scope. So at this point you're getting kind of loaded down. So you know that you can't take much more with you.
Yeah. I would like to still open the next crate just to see what it has, and if it doesn't seem worth it.
Oh, the next crate, all that
that's-
one has is just food. Like they do store food.
Oh.
It's not just these
Okay.
rare magical shit. This is
Yeah,
they also keep food.
I knew for sure there was gonna be food in here somewhere.
There's gonna be like a
Whoa.
few junk crates that are just like not worth it.
Yeah. But you do see that this is actual like this is like high class food. This is like the you know the good expensive exotic food that you would get like spend an arm and a leg for at a restaurant.
I'll take a duck with me. I don't know.
You take a little to go bag with you. Okay.
Yeah, a grab bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through message, Laurent relays to him like the guards are patrolling now. Tell me when you're about to leave so I can cause a distraction, because he has something in mind. I think I know what he will do to get the guards distracted.
All right. Well, I plan on making my way out now.
Yeah. So, Laurent is gonna use minor illusion again, and he's gonna move a little bit away from the warehouse and as far away from it as he can in the opposite direction. He's going to use minor illusion to create the sound of a of like of glass shattering, of like a window being broken in two, and it's loud, but it's in the opposite direction of the warehouse distinctly,
Okay.
so
Alright,
that it just
so-
draws the attention of the guards in that direction as opposed to the
With
warehouse.
his distraction, you get to roll your stealth check with advantage. But your acrobatics check to get out of the building without falling is going to have to be with without advantage. But your stealth check to get back to the wagon after will be with advantage. So go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
Yeah,
To
you still have that bardic inspiration, by the way,
I do.
just in case you need it.
Ooh. 15. I mean,
I think that
that actually was the DC, so you met the DC.
we just beat it. Ooh. Hey, you didn't need it after all.
So
yeah, but if I really need to,
Yeah,
yeah, so you managed to
better to have it, not need it, than need it, and not have it.
yeah, you managed to get out without falling. And your roll me
Now
your
it's
stealth
time to
check to
sneak
get
out.
back to the wagon without being seen with advantage.
Mm,
26.
Yeah, you get back
Huh.
to the wagon, no issue, without even being seen. Even Laurent doesn't see you get back.
Yeah, I imagine he's watching like the guard sort of run off to investigate that noise. So he turns around and he's here and he's like, "Whoa, whoa!"
Told you, master thief.
And he kind of like, yeah, maybe, guess I shouldn't doubt you. And then he kind of, he gains a more serious expression and he says, "That thing that you found, that magical weapon,
Yeah,
I would like to see it."
we should probably get out of sight.
Yeah, he's gonna he's gonna go into the cart.
Yeah.
And he's gonna take out his front half of a magic gun that he found. and set that down to compare.
They
Once the
look exactly the same, except for this
mhm.
one is more intact.
Yes, because the one that Loren has is only the front half, and presumably this is most of it.
Yeah.
If not the whole thing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So he's gonna examine this
This
entire
one is fully
gun.
like full length, fully put together. It
Does it
does
seem
have
functional?
a lot. It does have some. What you can see is that what's interesting about this one is this one doesn't have any wear and tear on it.
Well, yeah, it's a magical item. They
Yeah.
are
They see
incapable of
which
receiving
makes
that.
you leads you to believe that somehow the other
This
one
thing
that
still
owned-
works.
Yeah, it lost its magical.
Mm-hmm.
It lost its
Possibly
magical
because it was
properties.
broken?
Yeah, because it's broken. It's broken. Somehow it got
Yes.
broken, and it shouldn't be broken. Because
Usually,
it's a
usually
magical
those things
item.
are really tough.
Yeah. So something
That's-
happened to that other one.
Disconcerting.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it's still
Yeah.
it still has that. If you were to use detect magic on it, you would see that it still has somewhat of a magical glow.
Yes, I see. Gonna note that down.
So theoretically, this
Good find, I'm guessing.
so theoretically this magical firearm could possibly still fire.
Yeah, and he's gonna say, he's gonna point to the front half, and he says, "Well, I found a piece of one of these earlier, and I'm not quite sure what this thing is, but you can probably tell just as well as I can that this thing is very important
And
and very old.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is ancient, which is very strange because this thing is ancient, but it seems new in a sense. It's a higher level of technology. I've never seen something like this before. I assume you haven't either. But-
Neither. I usually know most things that are valuable.
This thing seems functional. I wouldn't advise that we try to use it right now, but it seems to be very important and potentially useful.
Well, I assume so. It's the Archmage who wanted it.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
dragon.
if the Archmage wanted it, that might be our ticket inside.
Perhaps.
Will, you were saying something?
Yeah, Reno is going to wander over and look at this firearm. Does he, thanks to his longer life, has he seen
I
stuff?
was hoping that
like
you
this.
would say something. Okay. Because you are older. You are far older than any of the
Old
people
head.
here.
Actual boomer.
Yeah. So, you, with your, I would like you to roll a history check with advantage
Okay.
because of your ancient, not ancient, but older knowledge. Because
Okay.
this firearm does come from further back than even you have lived. So.
It does look like it'd sell for a lot of money.
All right. So what did you get, Real?
A 4.
Yeah, you have. You
Oh
have.
man.
I'll say this. I'll say this much.
Feels bad.
You have heard of these, but the extent of your knowledge is that you know that these were used in the first war against the Mage City. Long, long, long ago. And that's all you remember.
It is really the worst when, like, there's a hook for a character and their backstory and then they fail the roll for it. Like, come on.
I
Yeah,
know, that's
worst
happened to me
thing
so
ever.
many
That
times.
that happened to me like a million times in the
Yeah.
last campaign with Dragon, where my
Yeah.
character Pretty Grip had he had proficiency in Arcana, which was like weird. It didn't make sense for him, and like multiple times there were opportunities for him to like pull that out and it be interesting for his character, and he failed every
Oh,
roll.
but the
So
times
he,
that
like,
you were able, that you did roll and get high
Yeah.
enough for it was fucking cool.
it was just like
Yeah.
it's like oh, it took forever for him to finally be able to succeed.
Yeah, I feel you. Like one of my characters has like a very, it's like memories basically behind like a traumatic wall, right? Is like seeing things, where basically the part where like it might be like a memory trigger, and I keep failing it. It's like, oh, here's this person that's very important to my backstory, and he's a, he's another player, right? And like, and he has this like, he's like a puppeteer type guy. He does like attacks with puppets. My character would remember that, but no, I rolled low on my memory check like 5 times.
But the thing is, though, is Sylvie,
Yeah.
you have a friend that
Oh.
would probably know some
Mhm.
stuff about this.
Probably. Maybe like they had like autistic hyperfixation and ranted it at me about it.
Clarification on this.
Well, no,
Yeah.
your specific friend has dealt with this kind of stuff before.
Oh.
Interesting.
So
No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
so you could
So I might
possibly
get-
ask your friend by writing them maybe a letter.
Have
Maybe.
a criminal contact. I don't know if they'd know anything about that.
I mean, I would probably not really say anything about that. Like, about it is like what they're talking about is like enough to get an idea, because I probably have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
But
nobody
they're
really
talking
does.
about. I'm kind of in the background, just listening to this. I'm like, yeah, my friend might know about this. So once we have a chance, I'll probably like send a letter, like, hey, maybe like do like a sketch of what it looks like or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
I think
you and
Laurent-
your friend specifically have a way of communicating that is through that blood hunters have within
Yeah.
my world at least. You write your letter, right?
yeah,
And you
little
take
sketch.
you take what you do is you place the letter on the floor, and you prick your finger to get a little bit of your blood, and you drip a couple of drops of blood on the letter itself, and
Mm.
the blood spreads across the letter, enveloping it, and then it disappears.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know what I was like predicting you were gonna say? I thought that you were going to say that blood hunters write in their blood and it works like invisible ink, where it shows a fake message, but if another blood hunter reads it, it shows the real message.
Oh, they have that ability
Of
too,
written
because I
blood.
also had that ability. That's for like
Yeah.
secret messages between blood hunters.
Yeah,
but-
secret messages.
Yeah, you know,
This is-
but
this
this
is
is
like-
just a
this is-
simple letter. Yeah.
See,
This is like
they're
a
all fancy
specific
with
person.
that. I just hire a shifty caravan guide.
Yeah, you just hire some random dude to go deliver it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think imagine this
Well,
one's more personal.
Part of the background features, I just know the local messengers and correct caravan guys.
Yes, this one's just
Deliver
more This
messages.
one's just more personal, though. I would do more normal stuff, but this is one's
Hey,
like I
man,
would
my
prefer to have an
criminal
answer now.
contact, Joe, he's a very knowledgeable.
But I
Right.
think that, Laura, he's kind of examining these two gun parts, or gun and gun part, if you will, and he says, like earlier, he said that he said that it might be our ticket to the Archmage, but I think he says, actually, and he takes the front half and he says, I think this might be our ticket to the Archmage, just in case we need it. Maybe we could disguise this part as the whole thing, if we need to. Just if we need to.
Oh, make a
Yeah.
fake.
Because he's like, we should explore other options first. But I don't think we want to risk losing this thing. This is very important.
Yes.
Because there's the possibility of him using magic and seeing it's a fake.
It's not just a possibility, it's a certainty. He will see through
Yeah.
it
He will
eventually. but
appraise it.
All we need to do is to get in. That's our first priority. And then he says, but on a different note, and he turns to Nelson again. He says, what was that other thing you found? like the magical looking glass. Was it?
Oh, the scope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, according to the manifest, it's like something just designed to appraise magical items.
Says, well, that seems perfect, actually.
You know what? I was just thinking.
Yeah. What if-
Julie Kai would be so jelly of like how they send messages. God.
But it says we should use that scope to look at this weapon and see what we can figure out about it.
You read my mind.
Alright.
You want me in the back, like
So
dumping my
you
veins. on
use the scope, and as you use the scope, you take a look at the firearm, and as you look at it, what you find is that this specifically, this weapon, it takes longer than normal for this scope would to identify what this is. Like this, it's essentially an identify spell. You know, identify spells to usually not take very long, but this, you could see that the scope is working.
Yeah, it's taken a minute, which is
A little smoke coming off of it, like, you know, it's like overheating. God. Like a PC.
Put it on my PC. Does that mean?
Yeah, you're gonna have to call technical support. Anyway,
You try turning it off and on again.
anyway, so you see that it's taking a minute, but eventually it finally works. You see that this weapon was called an arc. Oh wait, come on, hold on. I gotta look at my notes. I just looked at this a moment ago. This was called an arc thrower.
an arc thrower.
Yeah.
I wonder what that does.
Throws
Oh, I know
arcs.
that. You get it's a stratagem. You call it down. It's like
Yep.
Or they would just call it an arc, like ARC, like they would call it an arc, or
Interesting.
call it the arc, you know, just like it just for a short, essentially.
Yes.
So, but it literally, this weapon was basically a gun that fired magic missile. And it could, this thing could literally, as long as it had enough charges, it could throw it could shoot up to level 9 magic missile, essentially.
Ooh. Interesting.
As long as it had enough charges. It would require, the way it worked is it would require the person wielding it would have to recharge it after every use. The thing is, though, is that it shows a slot where you would have to recharge it. It looks like there was a spot to put a crystal that would recharge the weapon. They would recharge it with another 9 slots. So, with another 9 charges, actually.
I see. So you put 9 crystals in it to get up to 9 charges of magic missile.
Yes.
I see.
So.
Very interesting.
But of
find
course,
some kyber crystals.
You see in this spot, there is a missing crystal. There is not a crystal within this.
Yeah, this thing is empty.
Yeah.
so not loaded, but hey, we got it.
Yeah, this could prove to be a very powerful weapon if we find the ammunition for it.
Yeah, because as it is right now, it is not functional.
Yeah,
it's
it's
missing a
inert,
piece.
but we do know what it does, and we know what it's called. So that's good. But,
Sorry, this is what playing in my head. Just like this is fine. It's like, yeet.
Call it the yeeter.
I'm
Like
not
this-
sure what it does to people.
But there is something else that the essentially the identifier, the scope,
Yes.
it does not know what it is. There's another spot on there that it doesn't know what it does. But you can see on the other side, it looks like there's almost like a little small dial. But you're not sure what this dial does.
It's like a radio
Okay.
dial.
It could be. Hear me out. Could be that dial might let the wielder set like
How
the
many-
level.
Yeah, how many charges to use? Probably.
Yeah, because it has 9 slots. So I imagine like you can set it to 1 or all uses simultaneously.
Actually, the thing is that if you were to actually move the scope of it, you do see a spot where it already does that. This other spot is unidentified what it does.
Interesting.
Maybe it's for like sorcerers, so that way they might be able to put their meta magic on the weapon and on the magic missile.
Interesting. Well, I feel like the only way to get a better idea is Laurent is going to turn the mystery dial. How many notches does it have? How many
Has
spots
3.
can it turn to?
It has 3.
It has 3. Okay. And presumably it is not labeled.
No,
on
they're
the physical
different
thing.
runes. But you
There
don't know what the
are
runes are because
runes.
they're because these runes are ancient, and you don't know what these runes say. They're not any kind of runes that you've seen before.
I see. That is interesting. I'm going to note that down, and something that I can't do, but Laurent will be doing, is in his little notebook, he's going to draw those runes.
Yeah.
Just in case we lose it. He's gonna draw them down to have a picture of what they look like.
So you said you turned the dial, right? So when
Yes,
you
he turned it to see how many spots that it's got.
It has 3, and when you turn it, the color of the firearm changes.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing changes, like the color.
Huh.
And on the first slot, it changes color. That's it, and the color is a orangish, yellowish color, like a mixture of orange and yellow together. It kind of like almost making it like look like the sunset, like when the sun is almost completely down, that bright yellow orange color that you see. You get that on the fire.
Okay, that's the first one.
Yeah, and you change it again. The color changes, and the front of the gun morphs.
Ooh.
It changes
Into
shape.
what?
The muzzle of the gun changes shape. The barrel becomes wider, and and there's like 2 hooks that kind of form on the muzzle, like on the bottom part of the muzzle.
Interesting. Does the color change here as well?
Yes, the color changes into like a deep purple, like almost a dark purple.
Okay, interesting. So, on the first setting, it would just has like a normal looking barrel then.
Yeah.
I would assume.
And on the second, all it did was change color.
Wait. So, well, you said that the second option changes the shape as well, right?
No, it does. No, it doesn't. It just changes color. That's it. To that orangish, the orangish reddish color.
Well, no, the first one is the orange version. The second one is the
No,
purple
the
one.
first one is just a blue, normal blue.
Ah, okay.
Then when you changed it to the second setting, it changed into that reddish bluish color. And then the third setting has it has that purplish, that dark purple color, and the front of the muzzle, the barrel of the gun, literally changes into like a wider barrel, like a bigger diameter, and a hooks form at the bottom.
Very interesting. These hooks, are they sharp, or are they just
Yes,
hooks?
they're very sharp.
I see. Interesting. He's going to switch it back to the first option because those hooks look dangerous and also make it harder to transport.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. And again, he writes down, like he draws those runes in his notebook so that they are, like, so that we can all remember what they look like, just in case we don't have the actual thing.
Alrighty. So, yeah, you now have this very strange firearm. So what do you want to do with it now that you've switched it back to its original setting?
I feel like there's not much else to investigate about it, is there? And he's probably going to both it and the. Actually, here's a question: the front end that he found. What shape is that?
Actually, I missed a part because I missed this part in my note. In my notes. So when you actually turn it to that final setting, that deep purple setting, and with the hooks, what you actually hear from you actually hear something from the firearm itself. You hear a deep growling sound, almost like an animal.
Huh. That is very interesting. That is all the more reason to not put it on that, because that one seems very dangerous. He is going to... So, once again, how does the other one, the front end that he found, how does it compare? What shape is it in? Is it just in the normal shape?
Yeah, it's just in the normal shape.
Okay.
But there is something a little interesting. What you do see is that what you didn't notice before is that there are very small hooks at the bottom of the barrel. Almost like, judging from what you've seen when you switched the settings before on the other one, on this one, it was in mid-transformative state when it was broken. Because you see the small hooks at the bottom of the barrel.
That is very interesting. After he's done looking at them, he's going to take them both and he's going to kind of wrap them up in like cloth or whatever and keep them in the cart separate from everything else.
Yeah, I would say you could probably wrap these up in the spare canvas that you have for the wagon.
Yeah, they're just hidden away so that they won't be seen by anybody who's walking by, and if they do see the wrapped up ones, they're just gonna look like random stuff wrapped in cloth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think can't think of much else to do at the moment.
All right. How you guys doing? Are you guys still wanting to keep going, or are you guys? Because it is almost 11:30. Do you guys want to
I'm-
keep going, or you guys think that we should end?
And I'm I'm like half falling asleep right now. I'm like something about a gun. That's all I know.
All right.
Yeah.
I cast a non-magic missile. I freaking love that.
Non-magic missile.
Bro, wait, there's a funny like here. Let me find like one. Let me find the funny thing.
It's in memes.
Goodness.
It's in the meme channel.
No magic missile I need.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, so all right, I guess we will call it a night then from there.
Alright.
But
We need to see more worlds where magic and technology go well together.
Avatar. Oh.
Because it's like, yeah, there would be guns and stuff. We also have magic, so imagine like all that together being like, wow, my goodness.
I've always wanted to make a D&D character who was a gun wizard.
oh
who
yeah,
has-
That'd
who
be
has,
so
like,
cool.
who has like a rifle, a big long-barreled like flintlock as a spellcasting tool, and every
You
spell
never
they
played
cast
an
comes-
artillerist?
That would be
comes
so
from-
cool.
No.
That's basically what artillerist is. They even have a feature. It's called Arcane
But it's-
Firearm.
Yeah, but it's an artificer. So, and I wanted it to be a wizard specifically, because wizards are better. Sorry, artificer. Artificers are really cool, but they suck. They're really bad. They're just so like incomplete.
Armor is good though. What are you talking about?
Yeah, armor is really cool because you can just be Iron Man.
And there's that new book coming out, but it's definitely gonna be 2024.
Yeah, I mean,
the
people could probably,
cooler
like-
2014.
people could probably just like switch some of the stuff in it to make it fit, but
I'm sure there's a wizard stuff that's that.
Yeah,
I have a homebrew.
all right. So we're
I
gonna go
wanted
ahead and
to-
raid out, guys. Say goodbye, everybody.
yeah. Bye.
Later.
Oh, the Silent Hill alarm! No! Pyramid Head's coming! No! But all right.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later.
Surprise! Later.
All right,
Yeah,
we are
Optimus is-
officially rated out.
Nice.
Nice.